All right, and welcome to another special football pick show here. And we got some special guests today. We got Mike Burrell, we got Jeremy and Troy Martin, and obviously the other Troy and myself. And we're gonna be bringing you back our annual football show. So buckle up,
Get
guys.
ready
It's
for the
gonna be a
banter.
fun
Here it
ride.
goes.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, so we had a request to start off this season in the AFC North. We want to get this out of the way right away. So should we just give him the
Let me just
microphone to
get
Hallie
started a
right
while.
now?
Give it to
Yeah.
give it to Hallie. Let him run with it, and
Yeah.
we're just gonna sit
Mike's
back.
already sipping
Yeah.
away. So
Yep. We're gonna
Uh,
sit back for the next 25 minutes and listen to why the Steelers are winning the division.
you know, it kind of hurts me to hear that, but it also tells me you're not wrong.
hey, they are defending division champions.
Yeah, and keep that in mind, folks, because I did say that last year, and then who did win that division? Exactly.
Somebody
Even
had
with
to win it.
Howie.
Somebody had to win it.
even with mediocre Mike Tomlin out there. I mean, come on.
Oh, now we hear me.
Oh, wow.
Just traded him in for another mediocre Mike.
Hey, you know what? What I like about this new Mike is he's a quarterback guy. You know, he makes his quarterbacks better, and I'm really anxious because let's face it, the Steelers have never had a coach that was offensive minded until this year.
Good point.
You know, and and to top it off, they got some good receiving core this year. I mean, they got this Jeremy guy that they drafted. They got obviously DK Metcalf. I mean, if he can stay away from the fans, I mean, he'll be fine. And Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be one of those people that people forget about until he's out there catching balls up the middle, like the old Hines Ward days.
And Malachi Lemon. Oh wait, no, they don't have him.
And I'm okay with that. And I am okay with that.
You
So.
won't be at the end of the season.
Oh, here we go. See, this is why we should have just gone to the NFC East.
I
We'll
will
go there
say
next, don't worry.
I do like Michael Pittman. I think that was a good move.
I do
Yeah.
too. I don't think he's a
Yeah.
number one by any means, but I
Yeah.
think he can be
No.
a great number two. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. DK is obviously the number one on that team, but Michael Pittman's he's gonna turn some heads, I think.
Yeah. I
So,
think
but yeah, I look at it this way. I mean, it's gonna all come down to how Aaron Rodgers plays.
for sure.
I mean, really, that's what it's going to come down to. If he's healthy and he's putting up numbers, he put up some good numbers last year. Whether people liked him or not,
Yeah,
he
decent
put up good
numbers.
numbers. And if he can continue to do that with the offense they have, coming into this year, and that young offensive line that they had last year, it's a year older, and I feel like they're going to be, gelling pretty well as a team.
And also, I think another thing, Howie, is the quarterback on the other side of the ball. Can he stay healthy? And when I say that, I mean T.J. Watt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a good
I mean,
question.
let's
I
face it,
will.
their record with and without him is very different. Very
Yeah,
different.
it is. I think a big difference with the last 2 years and TJ Watt. TJ Watt wasn't really a big factor last year, and they still won.
True.
They got depth at that position this year and last year, and I feel like that was done intentionally because of TJ Watt. I thought you were meaning Cameron Hayward when you said the quarterback from the other
No,
side,
I mean,
because I feel like he's a difference maker too.
he is. I thought he had a down year the prior year,
Hmm.
but last year he kind of came back to form again a little bit. But he is a little bit older, so I mean, it's gonna drop off
Yeah.
soon. It's gonna.
I agree.
Yeah.
And not only that, keep in mind too, Joey Porter Jr. is holding out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't even hear that. I didn't. Know
oh
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
He hasn't played. He's on the pup list for the Steelers, and he's holding out for a big contract, big payday.
Yeah.
So he might actually be trade bait the way things are going.
Do you
So
think so, or do you think they'll just give in and give him his money?
Well, I mean, if you compare him to the other Joey Porter from yesteryears, they had no problems with letting him go in his prime.
Good point.
Right, Dolphins fan.
That's correct. As well, they should have.
Yeah,
So, as the Steelers fan here, are you happy with Rodgers, or did you want to just get away from that whole thing since you have this new coach and start anew with a new quarterback?
I wanted them to start with a new quarterback.
And who did you want that to be?
I wanted it to be Will Howard, but I'll tell you what, Drew Aller is turning some heads.
So that's my next question for you. Which quarterback's getting axed there? Because one of them's got to go.
Mason.
That's what I would think too.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Mason Rudolph could be expendable. He looked decent in the first preseason game, and again, I don't know if they're looking to trade. He would be a good. I mean, they're probably, in my opinion, they might be waiting for a team that needs a true quarterback.
It's tough to let go of a veteran quarterback, a veteran
It is.
backup quarterback.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
tough.
And
So-
he is a very, I don't know. I think he's a very productive backup
He's
quarterback.
serviceable. He's a serviceable
Yes,
backup.
serviceable is the correct word. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's
So
not
you
going to
have
win you
that
the
option.
Super
Right
Bowl.
around 500.
Yeah,
maybe.
You have them winning the division, Howie. So tell us what their record's going to
Yeah.
be. That's what we want to know.
11-6.
11 and
All right.
6.
11-6, and they're going to be
All right.
tied with the Baltimore Ravens, and they will have the tiebreaker because they will have swept the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, we have a lot of
All right.
Steelers talk in the AFC North here. Let's kind of turn it over to the Browns here a little bit because well, no, I'm not saying whole timeout.
As if anyone's ever said that.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think it's very interesting what's going on in that quarterback room right now. You have Deshaun Watson, who you gave this huge contract to. You draft 2 quarterbacks last year. Forgive me for forgetting the other guy's name already.
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, there we go. And Shador Sanders. Dylan Gabriel's not even a thought right now. He's
No.
not even talked
know.
about at all. And the competition was between Shador Sanders and Deshaun Watson. And I heard just today it was announced Deshaun Watson's the starter.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, it looked like Shador Sanders was outplaying Deshaun Watson all preseason.
he was. He was, and you know that ego is going to get the best of him, and that's going to be another typical Brown season because of all the controversy that goes on there.
So I'm just
Did
trying
you-
to figure out what's going on there. Like, what? Did
Did
they
you see the
literally just
the
exist to suck? Is that what it is?
That press
I-
conference when they named Deshaun
Yeah.
and they talked to him about, the fans booing him or cheering when he got hurt and stuff like that. And then they legit asked him, "Do you regret anything? Like, do you regret coming to Cleveland?" And he said, "I don't regret anything about my life." He said, or something along the lines of, "I don't regret any of my choices," is what he said.
Yeah,
That's not a good thing to say.
No.
not
Especially
at
now
all.
when he
No.
had 46 counts of sexual assault or whatever in massage parlors.
Yeah.
I will say this about the Browns, and I'll say this to kind of get the whole story here. I think you are going to see a lot of tanking, even though the NFL claims there's never any tanking. But I think there's going to be a lot of teams that after the 4th game of the season, you're going to see them intentionally get rid of people and try and tank because this quarterback class coming out of college is amazing. And everybody wants to try to get Arch if he has the year everyone's expecting him to have. But they have at least 6 to 7 quality NFL quality quarterbacks right now in college that are going to be lights out next year coming out of this draft. And I
Mhm.
think you're going to see at least 5 teams in total that I think are going to just start tanking right away.
Yeah. I mean,
And I think the
that's-
Browns are one.
yeah, you're probably right, but it's just really weird because they literally just drafted 2 quarterbacks last year.
Yeah.
And
But neither's what
Well,
the next
who
ones
was-
that are coming out though.
wasn't that the Cardinals a couple years ago when they drafted Josh Rosen, and then the next year they had already given up on him and went right to Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, same type of thing, I think. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, what do you have anybody else from that division making the playoffs? And how do you have the Ravens making it? Or
I mean, I had the Ravens making the playoffs. I have Cincinnati at 10-7. I think they're going to have a decent year, but again, I kind of put Cincinnati in the same bracket as Cleveland. They just find a way to lose when it counts. You know?
yeah, I mean, I do like what they did this year.
Mhm.
So what I have in this division, I'll just kind of get to mine real quick. I actually have Cincinnati winning the division this year. I have them going 12-5, and then I have the Ravens at 11-6, and the Steelers right around that 500 mark again, but this time on the lower side of it at 8-9. And then Cleveland 3-14. I mean, way ahead of this. I don't know why. I like the addition of oh my gosh, why am I having a hard time with names today? Who did the Bengals pick up for the defensive line?
I can't think of who it is.
Oh, they got the Giants.
Yes.
Giants
his name?
defensive tackle.
Dexter
Oh
Lawrence.
my, how Dexter Lawrence, yeah.
Dexter Lawrence. Here we go. I think that's going to be a big addition for them, and I think a healthy Joe Burrow is really the key there. And I think if he stays healthy, I I don't care. I mean, Lamar Jackson. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. Regular season Lamar, and then the playoffs come around and he's nothing. He I don't like the idea of a new coach there. I think it's going to take a little while for them to kind of get their defensive plan in. So I think that's why they're going to just miss out on winning this division. I'm going to give the division to the Bengals. Again, 12-5. Ravens sneaking in as the 7th seed at 11-6.
So you said you have the Steelers on the opposite side of 500.
Yes.
And that's basically what Vegas has too. Vegas has their win total set at 8.5. So there you go. Mike Tomlin.
It's been for the last 17 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, Mike Tomlin or not, they're still looking for them to finish right around 500. So according to them, nothing has changed.
Yeah, as everyone knows, the Steelers are the New York Yankees of the NFL. Everybody loves to hate them, and everybody's going to always put them down.
Yeah.
I don't hate them at all. I really legit think, like you said, Howie, I legit think like they just need to stop with regurgitating old quarterbacks and whatever they're doing there.
Yeah, they got to
They
start
need to
fresh.
just clean the slate. And yeah, maybe they'll have a 4-12 season or whatever, but they might find their future quarterback to build something around. And right now, they're not doing that. And it's going to take an injury to Aaron Rodgers for them to figure that out.
Yeah.
If they start slow, Howie, say, 2-4 or 2-5, 2-6, do they make the switch to see what they have?
I believe Mike McCarthy is kind of a no nonsense type of coach, and I could definitely see him doing that.
I'll say no only because Aaron Rodgers already admitted that it's his last season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but again, I don't see Aaron Rodgers tanking either. I mean, unless he does get injured. I mean, if he's injured, yeah. If again, you look at his numbers, I mean, when it comes to his mechanics, there is really no quarterback better when it comes to his mechanics and his ability to throw the ball deep. And I feel like again, if he stays healthy, he's going to be in the top 10 talks of quarterbacks in the NFL.
What do you boys have for the division?
So
Well,
go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just jump in. Troy, pretty much the same as what you had. I had the Bengals winning 11-6, Ravens 10-7, Steelers 8-9, and then the Browns at 4-13. I think the Browns are going to be a top 3 pick. I just don't see anything happening for them.
We all seem to be in sync. I'm just flipping those first two. I have the Ravens at 11-6 and the Bengals at 10-7. Steelers at 9-8, just because. And the Browns at 6-11. Ravens and Bengals, I do have going to the playoffs from that division.
Okay, Mike.
I'm flabbergasted. You guys are telling me that the Cleveland Browns are going to tank? No. I mean, they've only been doing that for as long as I've been sucking air. I mean,
Just going out on a limb there, Mike. That's all.
Yeah.
Not since Bernie Kosar have they been a competitive team. So Deshaun staying on that team, staying as that quarterback, that is an implosion ready to happen. But that's Cleveland. We expect that. They're 3 wins, 4 wins, maybe. They might get a pity win at the end of the season. But I have Baltimore winning this division. The whole division itself has luck on their side this year. They all get to play the AFC South.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's easy wins. Baltimore on their schedule has a lot more easy games than Pittsburgh does. Pittsburgh's playing that first place schedule.
Yep.
Baltimore is not. They're playing the second place schedule. So I have Baltimore with 13 wins for the season. They win the division. I got Cincinnati and Pittsburgh either 9 and 10. I can go either way, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh at 10. It's Aaron Rodgers last year. I'll give him one. But can somebody please, and you're going to hear this argument from me a lot tonight, what has Joe Burrow done to be given the level of respect that he has here? They give him no line. That's his only defense. He
Yeah.
has no line. But
That's a fair point.
expecting the same thing to come out of Joe Burrow, goodness, goodness, goodness. I'm sorry, but COVID year, he got lucky to make it to the Super Bowl that year.
He was
Mhm.
carried by
He
the
got
defense that
lucky.
year.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
the
lucky.
He
defense. Yeah.
was.
And you know what, Mike? You
I
make a real
don't
good point
understand.
there. I think you make a real good point there. I always compare Joe Burrow to the old Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon, everybody talked about like, this guy's a great quarterback. He won the Super Bowl. It's like, no, no. Yeah, he won the
Yeah.
Super Bowl, but there is no way he could have done
He
anything
didn't
without
lead
that
that.
Bears defense,
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, and look what happens when he doesn't have a defense to support him.
But to be
Mhm.
fair, like, and this is kind of the argument we get into all the time about, are wins a quarterback stat or aren't they? To be fair, when Joe Burrow was healthy last year, he was putting up points. It literally was his defense's fault that they did not win a lot of those
Mhm.
games. They're
And
losing games 44-41, and like a guy can only do so much. You know what I mean?
And I'll also say, saying the Bengals going 10-7, that's not really giving Joe Burrow like a lot of credit, saying he's going to
No.
light everything up and get a lot of wins. It's also speaking to how bad a lot of the other quarterbacks really are in the NFL. That Joe Burrow is that far ahead of bad quarterbacks.
And as
Mhm.
Mike mentioned, a third place team, a third place schedule going against the NFC South. There's some free wins in there.
Potentially, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
if you're
Yeah,
comparing the schedule as last year, but
Texans will be good.
yeah.
no, that's the AFC South. I'm
No.
talking about the NFC South.
Oh, it's NFC South. Yeah.
So they'll play the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers,
Yeah.
and
Bucks.
help me out.
The Bucks.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
But they also have the AFC South too, I believe.
They do.
do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so.
I
I
Pretty
believe
sure
that's what
yeah.
they have that whole division
But
too.
even so,
Yeah.
what, two tough teams in that division?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe Colts, maybe. You'll see.
if you want to look at betting stuff for this division, the Bengals are 9.5 as far as wins. The Ravens were 11.5. The Browns, a lot of you are saying they're going to go under 6 wins, and I'm encouraging you to play that because Vegas has them at 6.5 wins.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I think
That
I
would
would
be
definitely take that.
Yep. I
do
think
not.
I would
mean,
too.
even if they get to 6, I don't
Yeah.
see them getting to 6. But even if they get to 6,
Yeah.
Yeah, 7
Yeah.
seems really far fetched.
yes,
Mhm.
I would
Yeah.
agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was one that I do like also. That's why I'm pointing that out.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Let's put the spotlight on you now, big guy. Tell us why the Giants are winning the division, but the Eagles are winning the Super Bowl as the 7th seed.
Uh, all right. Breaking news: the Eagles will not be the 7th seed
Okay.
out of the NFC this year.
The 6th.
They will not be the 6th seed. They will not be the 5th seed or the 4th seed.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm going out on a limb here, but they will be the 3rd or the 2nd seed.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, uh, Dallas still is going to be Dallas. They're going to win the games they should, and they're going to be proud for it. And they're going to blow games that they should. That's just how they are. I got the Eagles taking this division with 12 wins. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from this new offense. I think the offensive side of the ball for Philly is stacked. Their only problem is depth. The defensive side of the ball is again still it's young, but they are talented. And they got another year or two in this window where they don't have to make any real hard decisions and cut somebody they shouldn't. And I'm really scared because I'm not sure if they're going to be able to keep Coop or Quinion beyond 2 more years.
Yeah.
I really hope they can keep both, but something telling me one of them's going to have to go.
And
But
I'm going to say also, Mike, I feel like a lot of people are kind of harping on the AJ Brown leaving Philadelphia, but I think that's a blessing in disguise.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He's a
Well,
cancer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Must be something to
I
do
will
when your
admit
name's
this.
Brown as a wide receiver. I don't know.
I will admit this. Philly was not utilizing AJ to his fullest potential. You know, so is he going to be a hurt being gone? I don't think so. That offense is going to thrive. You could see it last year. The offense wasn't going anywhere beyond 15 yards. Their defense, the opposing team's defense, was only able to play a short field. It was a recipe for disaster at the end of the year. They're going to stretch the field this year. There's going to be more over the middle passes. I'm expecting Jalen Hurts on a contract year to do what he does best. Everybody can say what they want about him. They can say how he's not a top 5 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback. He's carried by the entire team. Okay, all he does is win. You can get away with being a system quarterback and being carried for a year, but it is hard work to go out there and win, 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 and show up at the biggest of moments. I got the Eagles at 12 wins, Dallas at 11. I got Washington with 6, and I got New York Giants with 7. I hope, for the love of gosh, I hope Cam Scadaboo does not ruin his entire life by doing something dumb this year, and he can stay good.
Yeah.
For New
So
York, I am very hopeful as well that Jackson Dart might actually be the quarterback darling of that draft because I think he has the tools. It might not be this year, but next year, watch for him to really take a leap.
So do you have Dallas sneaking into the playoffs as with 11 wins then?
Yes, I have Philly and Dallas making it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Martin. You're also in the NFC East. Let's hear you.
Yeah. I will say this is the first year in a long time I have some optimism
Sure, you should.
to
You
get
shouldn't.
more than like
Oh
5
my.
wins. So I will say that I'm not going Howie mode here and saying that they're going to win everything and go to the Super Bowl. But I will say this. I do think the Giants have some depth finally. I think Arvell Reese getting Malino. I think these rookies are going to be really good for them, and I I'm hoping the same way. Scatterboo, I really worry that this is a guy in 3-4 years we find out that is found somewhere in a lake or in a alleyway. I believe he is walking CTE, and I hate to say that, but
Yeah.
when he shakes his head and you can tell he's trying to focus, it's scary. That
Yeah.
dude, the best thing probably happened to him was getting hurt last year, just to have almost an entire year without getting hit in the head. But the stuff you see him do, it's just like, man, I love the guy, but I do fear for his safety. I really do.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
Jackson Dart the same way. I fear for his health. He took another hit in preseason, went to the tent. This is like
Yeah, he
the
did.
7th time. Last year he went to the tent so many times. He was working at Bass Pro and Cabela's, handing out tents to people. So
But this year you
yeah,
don't have Coach Stable yanking him out of the tent
yes,
and throwing him
Good
back out
point.
on the field.
Good point.
that's
True.
true. And I think Harbaugh is going to make a huge impact to that team. It
He's
may not be this year, kind of like you said, Mike. I think Dart has the skills, and I think with Harbaugh taking the approach that he will, I think it'll help him. So I have the Giants at 7-10, third place in the division. I call me crazy, but I actually believe in the Dallas Cowboys this year at
wow.
12-5. I feel like Dak is going to actually have a really good year, and I liked when they traded away Micah Parsons. I really liked that trade that they made. So I have the Eagles at 11-6. I have Dallas and the Eagles both making the playoffs. Washington's the wild card. If Jaden Daniels can stay healthy, then they're going to be better than the Giants. I don't know if they'll be better than the Eagles and Dallas, but if you get the rookie Jaden Daniels compared to last year's Jaden Daniels, maybe Washington surprises some people. But I have them coming in at 6-9.
Okay.
Washington did announce, though, out of respect for Jaden Daniels, they are going to aim for 5 wins this season.
You stole my thunder, Mike. You stole my thunder. I guess I'll go now then. Could you?
There you go.
was like, in honor of Jaden Daniels wanting to reserve number 5, the Commanders will go 5-12 this year.
Man.
But
Wow.
I too also have the Giants at 7-10, Martin.
Yeah.
I feel it's going to be a much better year. I feel they're going to be very competitive. I think you're going to start to see a lot of promise in that team. I have the Eagles almost where you have them, Mike. I have them at 11-6, winning that division, and Dallas playing Pittsburgh this year at 9-8, not making the playoffs. So
Oh, I
once
thought you
again,
meant
All
the
right.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I thought too the Super Bowl for a moment there.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
Wow. I was like, you too, Troy? uh,
One of my favorite stats out there is that the Cowboys have yet to win a Super Bowl when there's been more than 30 teams in the league.
interesting.
Think about
that's
that.
true for a lot of teams, though, Mike.
All right, Jeremy, what do you got?
Yeah.
So I have the Eagles winning the division at 11-6. Their Vegas win total is 10.5, so they're coming in there. I have the Cowboys also finishing at 11-6.
Oh.
I hate the Cowboys. I hate to admit they're going to be good this year.
Yeah.
They've addressed the defensive needs. Now, whether or not those guys will play together, we will find out. But I will tell you the Vegas win total for the Cowboys is 8.5. I'm going to tell you right now, hammer that over. Hammer that over on the Cowboys. I'll get this out of the way right now because someone already said I think it was Martin that said he thinks Dak's going to have a really good year. Not only is he going to have a good year, that's your NFL MVP this year.
No.
Yep.
I almost
No.
went there. I didn't, but I almost went there too. I think he's going to have a great year.
I have the Commanders coming in third at 9-8, and I have the Giants at 8-9. So that's pretty good.
Yep.
Commander win the Cowboys, as I said, there was 8.5. Commanders win total 7.5. The Giants were also 7.5. Also, I don't like picking either of them going either way because that could go either way on them. But
Yep.
I think the Cowboys might be one of the best bets to go over that win total of 8.5.
What do you got, Howie?
Well, I also have the Eagles at 11-6, winning the division. Cowboys finishing second at 10-7. I have Washington in third at 7-10, and the Giants at 6-11. Rounding out that division, and yeah, I mean, Mike, I'm kind of there for you there in regards to Hurts. Everybody wants to put him down for being a bad passer and not a true quarterback type of player, but yet he always finds a way to win. So you can't put someone down for finding a way to win, and for whatever reason, when the games count, when it's playoff time and whatnot, he seems to step it up a notch. So
All he does is win. All
Yeah.
he does is win.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm at. I do think the Giants are a better team than that 6-11 record, but
Their schedule's tough
their
again.
schedule is
Their
really tough.
schedule is really
Yeah,
rough.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right,
I think
well,
you'll see a lot that first game. If they somehow beat Dallas, that would really be shocking. I
that would
don't
be a
see
huge
it,
win.
but
Yeah,
that would be a massive start to the season if they would do that.
where's that game at?
I think it's in New York, I believe.
New Jersey.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Say,
it's in Jersey.
say a prayer for all those ACLs that are going to get torn in that game.
Yeah,
Why they
right.
don't go to grass, especially when they had the World Cup there and they had grass. I don't understand that.
They yanked it out and put that turf back
Yeah, I know. I
That's
don't
crazy.
get it. I don't
That's
get it.
crazy.
Costs a lot of New Jersey tax dollars to continue watering and cutting the grass. That's why.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we did everybody else's division, so let's go to Riders and myself. Let's get all our divisions out of the way, and then we can
Yep.
move on. Go ahead, Ryder. I'll give you the floor first.
All right.
AFC
Well,
East.
in case you're wondering, we are talking about the AFC East. We all know Garmin is a Bills fan, and myself, I'm a Dolphins fan.
I
The
question that
Dolphins
sometimes.
suck. The Dolphins may be the worst team in football this year.
Amen.
Their Vegas win
Yeah.
total is 4.5.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
There is only One other team at 4.5, and that's the Cardinals. That tells you how bad they think the
Yeah.
Dolphins are going to be. And when I tell you I would not take that over on that 1.5, that's really how bad the Dolphins are.
Hmm.
I don't see them getting 5 wins. You want to talk about tanking, whatever you want to talk about. They're not tanking. They're just that bad. So yeah, the Dolphins are coming in last in that division. Now on the other side of that, I really don't have anything more to say about them, even though it's my favorite team again, other than they're going to suck. Good thing for Troy, that gives the Bills 2 easy wins. Those easy wins for the Dolphins are going to give the Bills the division. I have the Bills winning the division at 12-5. I also have the Bills then being the number 1 seed in all of the AFC going into the playoffs.
Wow.
Ten
Wow.
and a half is the win total for the Bills from Vegas. I have the Patriots going 9-8 this year. Everyone's talking about what your schedules are from where you finished last year and stuff, and that's really going to hurt the Patriots this year. I see them taking a big step back. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. The Jets, Patriots win total 9.5. I have the Jets finishing at 5-12. Their win total is 5.5. Again, I would not want to go either way on that one. Quite
Mm-mm.
frankly, I would not want to take the Patriots either at 9.5. I'd probably want to go
Yeah.
under on that, but the Bills are the only team in that division this year worth talking about. So there you go, Troy. Enjoy it.
So,
Yeah,
so
well,
based on previous years, Jeremy, the reason why the Dolphins were not going to win was because of Tua. Why is that not the case this year? Obviously, Tua's
well, they
not
don't
on the
even have any
team.
receivers.
So, well, first of all, yeah, if they had Tua, they'd probably get 2 wins. That's how bad he is. All right.
Okay.
Tua,
Um,
Tua and 15.
yeah, 2-15. The coaching move they made to bring in that head coach to basically go get his quarterback was not a good move.
Hmm.
Martin has already talked about the class that we have coming in, and I think they could find a lot better than what they did. And quite frankly, I didn't like giving him that money. Now, granted, it wasn't record breaking money, but they gave him too much, in my opinion,
Hmm.
when they could hopefully get somebody else knowing they're going to be bad. And again, as I said, to them, it's not even tanking; they're just going to be bad. And I will tell you, Tua ain't going to help the Falcons out that much either when we get talking about them. The Dolphins just do not have a culture of winning anymore. I hate to say it from a reference standpoint of being a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, but we've seen it for way too long. It is a trickle down effect, and until you change a lot, there it's just going to continue to be that
Hmm.
way. They don't draft
Yeah.
well. They had a head coach, Mike McDaniel, there forever, who was not even a good head coach. He was awful. He should never have been hired.
Agreed.
And they basically went out and did the same thing with this guy. Let me get a name that we think is going to be hot and trendy, and it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like it at all. Like, Mike McDaniel and Tua, that was just awful. And, I haven't said this in a while about Martin being completely wrong about Tua, but he was. The only thing that is his saving grace is when we get there and we talk about the NFC North, Garmin was more wrong on McCarthy than Martin
Ah.
was on Tua. Go ahead, Troy. You can talk now.
Get mine out of this.
Ah.
Um, so I'll start from the bottom of that division, kind of like you did there, Ryder. Yeah, it's I don't know. I actually don't mind the Dolphins signing Malik Willis. I don't hate it, and here's why. Because if things go bad, well, you can get a good quarterback in the draft. If you
And
catch
that's what I
lightning in a
spoke to.
bottle, I mean,
They gave him good money. They didn't give him crazy money. So
sure,
yes, there is
Right.
still the option to
Right.
do that.
right. And if you catch lightning in a bottle and this guy comes in and lights it up, okay, well now you got this guy on a good contract and let's build a team around him.
Bring back
So
Fitzmagic. That's what they need.
So, but with that being said, I don't see it going well. I got them 2 to 3 wins, something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a rough season for them. I really do think so. I think their only saving grace is if Halfley is the defensive mind that he says he is. Maybe they'll sneak a win or two out with the defense, stealing a couple games for them. But yeah, it's going to be a rough year. Jets. I mean, I feel like we've already talked about them, but they're also the Cleveland Browns. It's the same team. They do the same
Yeah.
stupid stuff. Um,
Mhm.
4 wins for them, maybe 5. I don't know, somewhere around there. I agree. The Patriots are going to come back to earth a little bit here, but not quite as much as you do. I do. AJ Brown will be good for a year. He'll keep his mouth shut. He'll do what he needs to do for a year. Their offense is going to be better because of that. Their defense is still good. So I have them at 11-6, sneaking in as the 6th seed. But I do have the Bills winning the division at 13-4. I do like what the Bills have done. I like a new mind coming in there, a fresh start per se. Get different thoughts. Maybe you get some of the old stigma of McDermott out of there. Love Coach McDermott. Love what he did for the culture of the team. Just wasn't working. It almost felt a lot like Tony Dungy when he was with the Bucks, type of thing. So we'll see. I think the offense is going to get back on track this year. DJ Moore has looked amazing chemistry wise with Josh Allen, and I think you're going to see a really good season out of DJ Moore this year. So I too have them as the 1 seed.
Are you concerned at all with a fan revolt of being in the stadium and not actually being able to see the field and the players?
No, because I feel that that's a little overhyped. Some of those pictures that were taken were legit. Some of those pictures were not even seats that are going to be sold during a football game. So,
But I also saw live coverage of a fan who was sitting in some of those bad seats, filming the game as they can view it, and it was ugly. It was the worst.
The ones where
with the
the
glass.
stadium, the glass is a legit one. That is a legit concern.
And then people walking in front all the time.
What's that?
In that same area, there's fans that are walking, down the steps to go to the concessions or the bathrooms. They're walking directly in front of people sitting down that have to look through that glass.
They are, but usually ushers won't let you do that during the middle of a play.
So
they usually will make you wait until the play is over, and then they'll let you by.
Yeah.
Legitimate question. Do you wish they would have made it a dome or retractable or something, or do you like the fact that it's still outdoors to keep that home field advantage, which is huge for them?
As a fan that doesn't live there and doesn't care where my tax money's going, I like the outdoor stadium. If I lived there and I wanted to get more use out of that stadium and try to get more revenue and, use it when the Bills aren't playing there and you could have winter concerts or whatever, that type of thing, I think it was the smart thing to do to put maybe an extra $1 billion or $2 billion and put a roof on the darn thing. I don't know. Make it retractable if you want to keep them outside, but you can still use it, or if you have blizzard conditions, you're not paying fans $25 an hour to go up there and shovel the stands out, Now, I would say that as far as I remember, like 60% of the seats are still covered. The weird thing is the ones that are down closer to the fields are the ones that aren't covered. So you're paying more money and you're going to be the one that's getting stoned on. But I don't know. I don't want to lose that element of football. I think it is a really cool element. But I don't know. If I lived there, I probably would say no. Put a roof on the darn thing and let's get our money's worth out of this darn thing. I don't know. Whoever wants to go next, go ahead.
I can go. I don't know if everybody has seen it yet. But here, let me just see. Here's the jumbotron behind me of the Bills. The crowd's going to be going crazy with being able to watch it. The highlights and everything. So just want to make sure that you could see that.
Yes.
That's the jumbotron right there. I'm in row like 500. There, so that way you can see it. But
I will say this also on that fact. You guys brought this up, and of course they're getting smashed around. But I think what's happening here, from all the podcasts I listen to, guys that have been to the stadium, been there, the jumbotron is fine. You can see everything on the jumbotron. It's not a problem. The problem is everybody's comparing it to L.A. and to Dallas and all that kind of stuff. And it's not that. It's not that. So
no, I'm just joking with you. It'll be respectable. There's no doubt about that. I had the Bills toast of the town in this division, 12-5. Pats, I think, take a little bit of a fall, but I still think they make the playoffs as one of the wild cards at 11-6. Jets is like you said. The Jets are just what the Jets are. Jets are the team of any team outside of the Cardinals that I could really see after the 6th, 7th game of the year mysteriously cutting bait with some more players and trying to get Angle in at 1 or 2 in the draft.
Mhm.
I could really see that team of all of them. I could really see that. And the
Mhm.
Dolphins, I I honestly think from coming from a team that has been the worst in the league for about 10 years, I really do think the Dolphins will be the worst team in the NFL this year. I have them at 3-14. It's going to be them, the Jets, and Cardinals. I really feel it's going to be
Browns.
those teams and the Browns
Yeah.
Browns. And I really think it's going to be very exciting towards the very end of this season, the last 6 games, to
Mhm.
see how bad some of these teams try to lose. And I think it's going to be worse than any other year we've ever seen.
Interesting.
All of a sudden we're in a windstorm or something. What's going on here?
All right. Well, I'll
Yeah,
go
who is
next.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. That's whose feedback is that?
Not me.
I think it's Jeremy.
No, it's not mine.
It's your box that's highlighted.
Yeah,
Yeah, who's got
your
the
box
TV
is only
going?
moving.
Maybe I'll have to go check.
uh,
We do have the Pennsylvania Little League game on.
oh, there you
Oh,
That's
go.
what we're hearing. Then, yep.
But yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, pretty much the same as everybody else is picking. I had the Buffalo Bills, 12-5, winning that division, and I want to say I think I have them as the number 1 seed too in NFL for the playoffs. Um, Patriots finishing second at 10-7. I don't know. I just don't think they're as good as a lot of people are hyping them up. And again, AJ Brown's a cancer. I mean, I just feel like he's not going to help the team. I do have the Dolphins finishing third in that division at 5-12, and the Jets closing it out at 4-13.
Okay.
So,
What do you
uh,
got, Mike?
Yep. I'll reserve my Josh Allen talk for another time. But this,
For the playoffs?
I mean, this is the year. I mean, Josh, you want to be the darling. You want to actually do something. This is your year. You have the easiest ride to the playoffs that you're ever going to have. I see them with 13 wins.
Because of the division or because of their schedule? Because their schedule is not that easy.
It's going to be because of their division and their schedule. They got some. They got some cupcakes. They got some tough ones on there. And this is where you might not like this one. They're going to win against the cupcakes. They're not going to beat the real opponents on their schedule. They are not going to be the number 1 seed. They're going to lose that number 1 seed in a tiebreaker to another team on their schedule. And you know who that red team is now. You know that red team because they will always have their number and they are going to win up there in Buffalo. But I still say Buffalo can throw it in cruise control, just set it on easy streak, get a 2 or a 3 seed, and save themselves and make that run in the playoffs. They need to do something here. Otherwise, I hate to say it, if that organization is serious about winning a Super Bowl, you may have to do a whole reset, and that includes bye bye, Josh. The man cannot win. The man cannot win. The man cannot win. But I still have Buffalo taking the division with 13 wins. I have New England coming way back down to reality. They have 8 wins. They had the easiest schedule by far last year. They have the 5th hardest schedule
Yeah.
this year. They are back to reality, and it's going to be great from Philadelphia. Watching that show implode up there, I'm good with it. I have Miami with 5 wins. I think they might surprise you. It's going to be one of those that everybody's going to wipe them off. Yep, that's an easy win, and they're going to sneak a couple of them out of there. And the Jets are going to be the Jets. They're at 3 wins. So I have only
So does
Buffalo
Aaron
coming
Glenn
out of
make
that
it through the
division.
season?
Sorry,
Does Aaron
what?
Glenn make it through the season? Does Aaron Glenn make it through the whole season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mike, Josh
Yeah.
Allen or Jalen Hurts if you had a pick to start your team?
Jalen Hurts, and it's not even up for debate.
Wow, you're crazy.
Do you know why? As far as I know,
Because
there's
you're
Because
22
you
crazy?
throw
starters.
in.
No, you know there's 22 starters on a team, right? Unfortunately, Josh is good for Josh, but Josh can't win in the big moments. Jalen can. I'm sorry. I will take Jalen every day of the week. That ends in one. The man's won a Super Bowl.
So
He's
not
Who
played
not
in the big
tomorrow.
who
games.
would you
He's
take over Jalen? Who would you take over Jalen?
look.
Patrick.
Okay, so I think you guys are trying to ask me who's the best quarterback in the league, and that's a totally
No,
different
I got 7
question.
more above Jalen yet.
No,
So
so that's a totally different question of who is the best quarterback versus who would you start your franchise with. They're two different questions, two different answers. Who's the best quarterback in
Is
the
there
league right
anybody
now?
else? Is there any other
Josh Allen.
quarterback in the league? Is there any other quarterback? Is there any other quarterback in the league you start your franchise with?
Patrick Mahomes.
yeah, that's it. That's the only
That's it.
one.
That that's the only one right now. Who else besides Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl? Like actually won the Super Bowl.
Stafford.
Not wasn't
Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
okay. He did it once in a 17-year
What
career.
what about the timeless Rogers? What
Okay,
about the timeless
we're gonna
Rogers
really
there?
count. We're gonna really count Stafford's first 15 years in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, I want to know what happened when
Stafford's kind of Josh Allen
yeah, I want to know what happened when
copycat
Stafford
there.
got to
You
LA
get him
that
in a
all of
better
a sudden
situation, he wins.
Stafford comes to LA and all of a sudden he's America's darling. Like he was being held there against his will in
Exactly.
Detroit. What happened there? Was that not? I saw the same Matt Stafford in Detroit. Good passer. He put up great numbers. He couldn't win. He got put on a stacked team in LA, and lo and behold, Jared Goff got them to a Super Bowl. So I'm not putting too much stock into the fact that Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl in LA. That team is stacked. McVay is a great coach. He can't beat Nick Sirianni. He can't beat Philadelphia, but he's magically a great coach. I'll accept that one, but I'm not
But
accepting Matt
but
Stafford
Mike,
over Jalen
aren't
Hurts.
the Rams in the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl the exact same team?
You were getting ready to steal the words right out of my
That
mouth.
defense for the Eagles killed Kansas City. It wasn't the offense. It was Saquon, was okay, not really much in that Super Bowl, but the defense killed
See,
Kansas City. It's not
but
much different than the Rams
no,
Super
but
Bowl.
no, but here's the other thing though. You don't if you got to do what you need to win. Everybody is so hell bent on having top notch stats. I'll ask this question. I asked this last year. I'll ask it again. What guarantees a win by an NFL team? Guarantees a win. Is it 375 yards passing with 4 touchdowns in the air and your running back with 2 touchdowns? Or is it having more points than the opposing team at the end of the game?
I mean,
Which
I would take a
exactly.
defense. I would take a defense any day of the week.
So what
Well,
you're
then you
saying
need to
right now
revisit
is
your
exactly
Steelers.
proving my point as to why I've been saying for the last 5 years or longer, wins are not a quarterback stat. They're just not. You just said it yourself. How do you win a game? Your team has more points than the other team.
Yes, but you
Doesn't say
know
your
what?
quarterback has more yards passing than the other quarterback.
Yeah, but you know what? That quarterback is in charge of the ball. He's not turning the ball over. Here's the big difference between Jalen Hurts and some of these
Much
other
like Aaron
quarterbacks.
Rodgers, you
Okay,
mean?
if we want to talk about turning the ball
Yeah,
over,
I mean, yeah, Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. He had what seven?
do
He
you
had seven
realize up
turnovers last
until
year, and 5 of them were in the same game.
if you're going to pick on Josh about turnovers in playoff games, legitimately the only game you can point to is that Broncos game last year. Before
Mm-hmm.
that, he had the best touchdown to turnover ratio in NFL history as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
NFL history.
Yeah.
Tell me again how that was his fault.
He didn't win the
If
game.
we get into this conversation,
I
This can
know.
go on.
We,
Yeah,
we
I know.
got
This
more
can go on
show.
forever.
We got
Yeah.
more show left.
You can listen to
I'm
our
just
part
saying, I'm just
4
saying.
podcast.
part 24.
you guys have been talking about the Rams enough. I say we go to the NFC West.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Who wants it? Who wants it? I can take it,
Go
but
Go
ahead.
for it, Martin.
Go for it,
all
Martin.
right. I think this is the best division yet again in football. I think to me it's Seahawks first, and it really doesn't matter to me if the Rams beat them in the division. I think both those teams come playoff time, they're just the two best teams as of right now. Now we say this on August 24th, but just looking at paper, I take the Seahawks. I have them at 13-4. I have the Rams at 12-5. Then I have the Niners, they're like 7-10, and then the Cardinals, just because they're in that division, I think only get to 3 or 4 wins because I think the Cardinals will tank. I think on purpose they are going to play Carson Beck as much as they can and not play Jacoby Brissett that much. Not that I think that's much of an upgrade or even a decline between the two, but I think they have a team coming and they would love to get Arch Manning as their quarterback for next year with Marvin Harrison Jr., Jeremiah Love in the backfield. The Cardinals are a team that if they were in any other division would be a really up and coming team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree, and I'll jump right on there because I agree with you 100% on the Cardinals. I think there's some talent blooming there.
Yeah.
They are just stuck in an
Yeah.
unbelievably talented division right now, and that's
Sure.
going to be tough for them to reach probably 4 to 5 wins. That's kind of where I max them out around 5. What's their win total, Ryder?
4.5.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I think that's right where I see them, right at 4 to 5
Yep.
wins at the most.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty cool. I told you guys before we started recording here, I did the NFC or the NFL playoff predictor and kind of just picked all the games randomly and figured out where it would go. All 3 teams, other than the Cardinals, all ended with a 12-5 record in my predictor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Niners.
the way it worked out with tiebreakers and stuff, the Rams go 12-5 with the 2nd seed. The Niners go 12-5 as the 5th seed, and the Seahawks go 12-5 as the 6th seed. So I thought it was pretty cool when I saw that. That was 3 teams tied for first there. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had the Rams as the number 1 seed in the NFC, by the way, and they're going to finish at 13-4. I don't think the Niners are as good as a lot of people are saying, in my opinion.
No,
I mean,
don't think
that's
either.
kind of odd to hear that they're predicting at 12-5. But I have Seattle finishing second at 11-6. The Niners in third, obviously, at 9-8, and Arizona at 4-13. And nobody's talking about the Rams picking up the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. You know, they're not only is their offense going to be somewhat talented, but their defense is going to be smothering quarterbacks in this league, no matter who they play.
And Trent
And
McDuffie, by the way.
Is Donald back? Is he actually gonna
Not officially,
up?
but it
He
sounds
hasn't
like
come
it's
back
going
yet.
there.
If they
think
can
he's
acquire
gonna-
him during the season, that would
Mhm.
be something towards the end.
Yeah,
could.
I could see him playing part-time, like maybe
Yeah.
only home games or something like that. But think about that. I mean, think about how talented that defense is going to be in that city.
Well, that's and the thing you didn't mention there, Howie, and nobody mentioned yet at this point too, is earlier in the offseason, before they got Myles Garrett, they traded for Trent McDuffie. They have him as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, I mean, they're going to be good. And I always say this, no matter what team we're talking about, if you're going to have a good defense and you're going to have a good defense from week 1 to week 18, I think it comes down to how the offense can continue keeping their players on the field and kind of going that route. I feel like if the Rams can continue putting up points or at least putting up long drives, that defense is just going to stay fresh and it's going to crush.
Yeah.
And that's why I had the Rams, only losing 4 games this year.
You got Ryan.
Um, I have the Rams also winning that division. I have them at 12-5. Vegas win total for them is 11.5. So seems like a lot of us like that over. The problem I have with that is that's a lot of wins to take for an over.
It is.
It is.
I have the 49ers finishing second in that division at 10-7.
Wow.
I have the Seahawks finishing also at 10-7 in that division. Both their win totals, by the way, 10.5 for both those teams.
Okay.
The Super Bowl hangover is real. I do not have the Patriots or the Seahawks making the Super Bowl or making the playoffs. Neither of those teams I have making the playoffs. So again, Rams first, 49ers second, Seahawks still good year, 10-7, and the Cardinals, 3-14. Maybe they get to 4 wins, but I don't see it from them at all. Like it's
Mhm.
just they're stuck in a bad division or a really good division, as everybody said, and there's just a bad team. Yeah.
Yeah, no argument
We're
there.
hopefully. I don't know if Mike will jump back in here before we move on to the NFC West, but Howie and Troy, what do you guys not like so much about the Niners this year? What do you feel has changed as compared to previous years?
I think they got old. And I think they traded away. I think they were in a situation where they hit a window. You talked about that with the Bills. I kind of agree with the Bills too. Like I thought last year was their last chance. Maybe I can give them a year two here last chance. But I feel like there are some teams that they hit their windows. You have about a 3-4 year
Mhm.
period. And I kind of just feel that with the Niners. I think people figured them out. They were kind of cute with their play calling. It was creative and imaginative, but then they kept getting injured
Hmm.
over and like to me, Kittle's a great player, but he's often injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purdy is good and decent at times, but he gets hurt. And McCaffrey really hasn't been as great as he was. And
Right.
I guess that's how I see it with them.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. That I think the one thing is with the Niners is this year because it always seems to be every second year or something like that, or McCaffrey has some sort of injury where he's out for 8 to 10 games. Is this the year that happens again? I don't know. Mike, hey, thanks for coming back. Didn't mean to get you all wound up and emotionated over there.
Well, you
Yeah,
know
it was
what
funny.
though?
My phone did a shutdown, so hey, it's okay.
But you asked me that same question, Troy, and
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
answer to that is Brock Purdy. I just think his fairy tale career is coming to an end this year.
Okay,
That's
Mike, what do
it.
you got there? We're waiting on the NFC West. What do you think's happening out there?
Again, I think this is going to be the best one here. Seattle is going to be Seattle. They're going to be good.
We shutting down again?
But
Maybe.
oh, can you guys hear me?
Nah, you keep
You're
breaking up
breaking
there,
up
Mike.
on us
Yeah.
here.
Here, let me try
Little.
this. How's that better?
Now we hear you.
That's
Okay.
better. Yeah.
Okay. Seattle's going to be Seattle. They're going to be good. But LA is going to be the best team by far in football. How good is LA going to be? They had to go out there and get the best defensive player, all because they can't beat Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. They're going to
Oh
keep
Jesus.
fighting. They they I mean, they're going to keep adding, keep adding, keep adding. But you know what? I have them with maybe 14 or 15 wins this year. They're going to be the
Wow.
juggernaut.
Yeah.
Seattle, I got with 12 wins. San Francisco, I do not see it. I mean, I still like Brock Purdy. I hate to like him, but man, what a value! What a gem of a find. He's a good
Glad to hear
quarterback,
that.
but I don't see that team is just plagued with plagues. Like anything that can go wrong with that whole organization will go wrong. Somebody on their team's going to get robbed and shot in the chest again, probably before the first week they play. So
Well, they
I
don't
have
have
them
to.
at.
They already had their owner get caught in a prostitution ring.
I
So,
mean, I have them at 8 wins. So I got them at 8 wins, and I got Arizona. Just they're lucky if they get five.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty. It seems
Yep.
like we're all really exactly on the Rams and the Cardinals. The mixed reviews a little bit for us are between the Seahawks and the 49ers there.
Hmm.
That's what I was
Hmm.
asking him while you were gone, Mike, was what do you think is the drop off with the Niners this year? Because I mean they like Is it just that they're getting a little bit older, or is it literally just another we're banking on another injury plagued year here coming up, or
Older, no, that medical staff that they had, the Eagles had that too, where they went a couple years with the medical staff that guys were just always getting hurt, and I think
Yeah.
they got that same issue going. They're going to continue to have those nagging injuries. Nobody's going to get completely healthy, and I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan. I don't get it. I, I, I don't get it. I don't get why he's such a genius coach. He hasn't won anything. He tends
I mean,
to
he
blow it
hasn't,
at the
but he's
point,
been to
like,
has he been to 3 Super Bowls now, or is it
and
only
lost
2?
miraculously in each of them. It's
Sure, he
you know
did. Granted, I mean,
but like I said, I don't see the genius of Kyle Shanahan. I think that team is just they're thugs. They're they when they get pushed and they get bopped in the nose, they will go down to the lowest denominator and they will be scrappy and they will play dirty. So I
can,
see them with the
can I
8 wins. I just
say this about Kyle Shanahan, and I'm not trying to really be a 49ers apologist here, so that's not what I'm saying, but I think Shanahan reminds me a lot of an early Andy Reid, not because of the offense he runs, but because of the way he coaches, but then always kind of seemed to come up short a little bit in the big games at that point. Do you get that comparison?
To me, is more Marty
Or yeah,
Schottenheimer.
Marty Schottenheimer too.
yeah,
Yeah,
Won
yeah, for
won a
sure.
lot of
yeah,
games, but when it mattered, they
yep.
just never measured up.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know.
think that's a
See,
great
to me,
comparison.
Marty Schottenheimer was more a
Yeah.
McDermott type of comparison, in my opinion. I think Shanahan is more of a Reid comparison only because he did get to another level higher than the Schottenheimers and the McDermotts, you know?
Is Shanahan really much different than his dad? His dad had Elway at least, but once
Yeah.
Elway was gone, he really didn't do anything.
Yep.
After that.
Once
Hmm.
Elway left.
Yeah. Once Elway
I mean
retired and
that's
everything.
fair because I mean even when he left the Broncos, what did he go to the Redskins at the time, right? And
Yeah.
I
And
I
that
don't really
wasn't
think
RG3. He ruined RG3.
that's right. You're right.
He tore his knee up and kept playing him.
Yep. Yeah. So no, I mean
I mean,
that's fair. I mean
Brian
I think this
Dable was cheering. I mean, he's like, "Hey, that's great coaching right
yeah
there."
yeah
Just
you
throw
should
your
go name the
quarterback
tape and
out
get
there
more
over
guys
and
out there.
over and over and over again. Shake it off, shake it off.
Right.
All right, so we went through the AFC East, the AFC North, the NFC West, and the NFC East. Let's jump back over to the AFC, and we'll save the West for last over there because I think that could be a pretty interesting division. So let's jump to the AFC South, and to be fair, I think this could be an interesting division too because I think we have 3 legit contenders in this division.
Mm.
Why don't you start us off, Mike?
I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I don't think this division really deserves too much time. But I have Jacksonville as going to be your winner out of this division, um, kind of as default. But I think they're going to sneak out with maybe 11, possibly if the situation goes right. They can go with 12 wins. I have the Colts coming in as being a little better than everybody expects at double-digit wins with 10. Uh, Houston. I got them on the bottom side of 500. They're 8-9, and Tennessee has 7 wins. I got 2 teams out of this division going to the playoffs. That would be Jacksonville and Indianapolis.
Okay, that seems fair. Ryder, go ahead. Mike, actually, Ryder, before you go, let me ask you, Mike, what do you think Houston's defense is just not quite good enough to carry them to more than 8 wins? Because I feel that defense is pretty outstanding, and I think that enough
Yeah.
is enough to keep them hovering above 500. Your opinion?
Something happened with CJ last year that
Agreed.
he he got. I don't know if he got figured out, but I know he's a knowledgeable guy. You heard him talk between season one, season two, where how knowledgeable he is with situational awareness. But man, was he figured out and he played horrible. If he doesn't play anywhere close to serviceable, it's going to be a rough year down there. And that defense is good. It's not a carry carry you to the playoff kind of a defense down there. It's going to be good, but they're going to definitely need some offensive help down there.
All right. Go ahead, Ryder.
So somebody remind me, didn't they lose their number one wide receiver last year? The guy that was the big deep threat. Didn't he go out for most of the year? Then I think that's a
Nico
big part
Collins?
for the Texans.
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of his name. There's like Nico Collins or something. I can't remember.
Nico Collins. I don't think he was. I don't think.
I thought they lost one of their wide receivers there for a while that went out towards the end. I could be wrong.
Right. I don't remember that, but you could be right. Let me look.
Go
ahead anyway.
Yeah. So I'm completely flipping. The only thing Mike and I agree on there is that the Titans are coming in last in that division.
Mm-hmm.
I still have the Texans winning that division. I have them at 11-6 actually getting that division. Vegas has them at 9.5. I have the Jags and Colts both finishing at 9-8. Jags win total 8.5. Colts win total 7.5. The Texans are the only team out of that division that I have making the playoffs this year. The Colts were great to watch last year until the quarterback went down. I do like the Colts. I do like Jones. I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't know. I think there's just some mediocrity with some people that they lost there. And again, I just think the Texans defense, although, people want to say not what they used to be, it's still good enough to win that division because that division is just not all that great.
So you're semi right. He got hurt in the wild card round against the Steelers.
Okay.
And he missed the divisional round game against the Patriots. That's with a concussion. So.
Yeah. The Titan. By the way, the Titan win total was 6.5. I honestly don't like any of those win totals for that division.
Yeah.
Those are all pretty tight.
Yeah. I'll jump in right after Ryder. I agree with him completely. I have the Texans. They're the only team that makes the playoffs out of that division. I did like the Colts, like you said. I felt bad for Daniel Jones. He really had a great year before he got hurt. And I was happy for him that he was really kind of able to shine. So it'd be interesting to see if he can come back this year. But I have the Jags and Colts kind of battling it out the same way, about 9-8, somewhere in there. Titans, as much as I like to see Cam Ward succeed, I just don't see them being a great team either. They'll be interesting because if they drop into that top 3 pick, would they go with a quarterback? Because I'm not sure at this point, after 2 years, if Cam Ward struggles again, the Titans might not be in the realm of looking for a quarterback.
Yeah. Go ahead, Howie.
Yeah, I mean, I actually same deal. I have the Houston Texans as the only team making it to the playoffs in this division. But it's going to be a really bad division from a record standpoint. So Houston's going to be at 10-7. I have Jacksonville at 9-8, Indianapolis at 7-10, and Tennessee again, 4-13 is kind of where I have them at this point in time. And but again, yeah, I agree with folks with their picks as far as defense. I mean, defense is going to win games, and defense is going to beat pretty much all these teams in this division. And that's why Houston is going to have at least 5 or 6 wins, just in the division alone.
Yeah. Well, let's make Mikey the lone wolf here then, because I agree with the other 3 guys. I think the Texans are the only team to make the playoffs. I do think the Jags are going to be competitive. I think they're going to be right there, but I think they're going to just barely miss out. So I have the Texans winning the division at 11-6. And the Jags at 10-7, missing out. Kind of crazy with a record like that, but they're missing out the way my schedule predictor went here. Colts just under 500, 8-9, and I think we all pretty much said the same thing on the Titans, probably right around 4 wins. So, not too much else to say there. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a competitive division, but I don't think you're looking at any true contenders out of that division. So let's go over to let's keep the theme going, and let's go over to the NFC South. And I think we're going to have a similar type talk here. Go ahead, Howie. You start us off on the NFC South.
Yeah, pretty much one team coming out of there with a playoff berth, and that's going to be the Tampa Bay Bucks. I have them again, same as Texans at 10-7 and winning that division. And really, it's just a toss up. Pick a name out of the hat for the next three. But I think
Yeah.
the Saints are going to finish second at 7-10, and the Kenny Pickett led Panthers are going to finish at 6-11. And potentially the comeback player of the year and Tua led Falcons is going to be at 6-11.
6-11 wins comeback player of the year.
No,
Wow.
no. I don't think Tua's gonna. I don't think Tua's gonna do anything there. So, but that's where we're at.
Go ahead, Ryder.
I'm with him. That division sucks. Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. Vegas all has a win total at 7.5. The Bucks is at 8.5. So that tells you want to talk about a competitive division. That's going to be a competitive division. That's going to be fun to watch. Bad football is what we're looking at right there. I have the Bucks winning that division at 9-8. I have those Kenny Pickett Panthers at 8-9. The Falcons and Saints both at 6-11. Tua's not going to do anything. They just needed someone to fill the spot till they figure out who they really want.
Mm-hmm.
Bad division. Bucks are the only team making the playoffs out of that division.
By the way, can we
What we're
not give
about here?
can we not give Baker Mayfield more respect? I mean, does that guy not deserve more than what he's given? In all honesty,
I agree with you. I agree with you there.
you know,
Yeah,
I just feel.
Cleveland wishes he was still there.
Oh,
For sure.
yeah, because then he'd be in the
Yes.
mix on who's going to back up Deshaun Watson.
um, real quick before we go to you, Mike. Why are we like? You guys are both talking about the Falcons being 6-11. At some point, and I'm sorry, let me finish that point. And you guys are talking about Tua doing whatever he does and being 6-11. If their record is really that bad at some point, are they not going back to Penix?
They're, like I said, they're going to go back to Penix at some point in time. Tua is just a placeholder. Penix will get work back in. I don't see Tua starting the whole season there.
Because of injury or because of performance?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, all the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
The above. Martin talked about, you guys talked about Scadaboo walking around with CTE. Like, I mean, I don't even need to tell you what Tua's walking around with. The man should not even. Yeah.
Hey,
He needs to be wearing a helmet. He needs to be wearing a helmet just walking around his house.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
I
right.
got a guest voice here for this one. Good night, sweetie.
All right. Go ahead, Mike. You go next. NFC South.
All right. I don't know if I really want to talk right now. The level of disrespect that has been bestowed upon Super Bowl winning quarterback Kenny Pickett. I mean, I am dumbfounded that you guys just do not have respect. Ay. But still, the Panthers are the worst team in
significantly
this
the
in the
quarterback
worst
you'd pick
division.
to start a franchise with.
He's got a Super Bowl win. That puts him right now a check mark above Josh Allen. But
Oh, ouch.
but he is Carolina is just bad, and they're going to be bad for a few years, and so is everybody else. But
Yeah.
you know, you talk about what is Baker Mayfield like? Why doesn't he get the respect? I'll tell you why he gets my respect. You could tell when he came out from college, he was a little immature, but you saw him mature and become a professional football player. He became a professional quarterback, and he can lead this team. And thankfully, he can do it with a horrible division and a pretty much guaranteed the one playoff spot that they got to have. So I see Tampa with 11 wins. I don't see him doing anything in the playoffs unless they play Philly. I mean that could be a possibility, but I don't see them doing anything spectacular. They win 11 wins. I actually have New Orleans as a bit of a surprise They get double-digit wins this year, but don't make the playoffs.
Wow.
New Orleans gets 10 wins. Atlanta gets 9, and Carolina with 5.
Wow.
Wow.
Go ahead, Martin. You're wowed right now.
Yeah, that wow, that is something. Are
Atlanta.
you're saying the Saints and Atlanta are better than the Giants
Mm-hmm.
with those wow, with those win totals? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I
He
I
didn't
don't know about
hesitate,
that.
Troy, by the way. He didn't
Yeah, I
hesitate.
tell you, man, there was conviction there. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but no, I agree. Tampa, I think they're the best team in that division. I think the other three teams, it doesn't matter. You can just throw, a dart at the dartboard and just pick whichever you want there. I think honestly, Atlanta and the Saints would be in the top 5 of the worst teams in the league, but because that division is also so bad, they're going to kind of disqualify themselves out of the top 5 picks because I think honestly they're just going to beat each other up. And I think again, whoever wins that division might be 8-9, 9-8, and that's about it. Everybody else, I cannot see them above 500.
Yeah.
Piggyback right on that because I got the Bucks winning the division at 8-9. I think they are under 500, win that division. And
8 and 9.
you guys are all talking about the same thing here with the Panthers, the Saints, and the Falcons. Throw a dart. Whatever order comes up is what comes up. In my scenario, I have the Panthers at 6-11, the Saints at 6-11, and the Falcons at 5-12. And the thing is like I wanted to like the Saints more than this because I feel at the end of the year they started gaining a little momentum. I really did. The schedule doesn't play out in their favor at all this year, and I don't know if it has to do with who they're playing this year. They're playing the AFC North. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right, Mike?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm checking to see here. I don't think
and I think
so.
the NFC East too. I think
Hmm.
they have as well.
Here, let
Saints,
me pull up the schedule.
Panthers. Yeah, they are playing the NFC North.
So they're playing the NFC
The
North. So
North.
there
Oh, the
you
Yeah.
got
North.
three.
Okay.
You got 3 tough teams there with the
Yeah.
Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens. And then and what's the other division they're playing? Are they playing the East?
No, I said NFC North. NFC.
NFC
So
North.
they got Detroit, Green Bay,
So they're playing
Minnesota,
both Norths.
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a tough draw. That's a
Yeah.
tough draw when you're not good teams. You have 3 tough teams in the NFC North, 3 tough teams in the AFC North, and you're in a bad division with some bad teams. So that's not a good recipe there. So
Yeah.
The last couple years, I've been telling you, like, we've been saying Bucks on the over, Bucks on the over, Bucks on the over, and it's been very good. This year, like I said, the Bucks win total is 8.5,
Mhm.
and I think they get to 9 wins. Mike said 11, but I wouldn't even play their over this year on their win total. And the other thing we need to discuss quickly from that is, Howie, don't think you get a reprieve like Martin and Troy picking bad quarterbacks. We had a discussion before about you saying that Kenny Pickett was going to be a very good NFL quarterback before, and you really believe that.
I really did.
We put that to rest on.
Well, hey,
He
don't
also
forget the
picked Jameis
Jameis
Winston
Winston for the MVP. That one didn't age well.
Yeah, but you know what? At least Jameson Winston had some good numbers in his repertoire at one time.
Are you talking about crab legs? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say what, the Publix? Or
Was that
about
his
here?
30? Was that his 30 and 30 season?
yeah.
30
Yeah.
touchdowns, 30 interceptions.
I think I think where Kenny Pickett honestly went wrong is he became such a sore loser that I feel like
No,
I feel
no,
like
he's
that killed
just
him.
not good.
Yeah,
He's just not good. Why do you
I
guys
agree.
think these quarterbacks? He's just not good. End of story.
He was good
He's no
enough to
Tua.
break a lot of Dan
He's no
Marino's
Tua.
records. I mean, he did
Oh
something.
my gosh.
He did something.
Actually, Alex Van Pelt broke a lot of Dan Marino's
Yes.
records.
Mhm.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey,
Nathan
let's-
Peterman broke a lot of Dan Marino's records.
Did any of those
too.
guys do an isotoner commercial? End of story.
Did any of them star in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
Yeah, but how cool would it be for Kenny Pickett to put isotoner on those small hands?
If the club
Moving on.
Oh, man. Yep.
All right, let's move on to some good divisions here to end this. Let's go to what do we got here? We got the NFC North and the AFC West. Where do you guys want to go?
Let's go AFC West.
All right, go ahead, Mike. That's what you want to start with. Let's go.
Yeah. Um, my God, say a prayer for that division. Kansas City gets a weak schedule, and they got stronger. Yeah, I mean Patrick Mahomes is back. He's going to win comeback player of the year. He's going to be Patrick Mahomes again. I see them having no less than 13 wins this year, including wins in Buffalo.
Are you at all worried about their receiving core, specifically even Travis Kelsey? Like,
No.
he's obviously lost a couple steps the last few years. I mean, Rashee Rice
Their
can't stop
backup's good
running
though.
people over. Like,
Do you,
I mean,
do you, do you know why I'm not concerned? Because you got somebody to the caliber of Patrick Mahomes that he is the one that makes the receivers better. You can take away his best receiver,
they
and those
haven't had a
receivers are
top
still going to be good.
they haven't had a top 15 offense in the last 3 seasons.
But you know what? When it comes down to crunch time in the
Here we
game,
go. Here
they
we
know
go. Here
how
we go.
to win.
Especially with 13 seconds left, right, Mike?
13 seconds left on the clock. I mean, maybe they'll make some
You
other
mean
quarterback
when
the
they had a good
darling of the
receiver
league.
like Tyreek Hill?
Yeah. And then when they lost Tyreek Hill, what happened? I believe
Their
they won the
offense
Super Bowl that year,
drastically changed.
but they won the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
Did they win one without Tyreek?
Yeah.
Okay, you might be right.
Yeah, they won. They won the next year without Tyreek. So
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes again has that mentality that you win the game. You got to have the ball at the right
You
moment at the
play
end of the
to
game
win the game.
and game. That's right. It's not 375 yards and 4 touchdowns in the air that wins a game.
All right,
It is
that's
the
my
most
quarterback's got to get
points.
that.
No, he had his team with the most points at the end of the game that he didn't give the ball back over to the opposing team with
Even with
13
13
seconds
seconds
left on the
left.
clock and gave them enough time to go down the field and beat them on a field goal. I'm telling you, you guys can go at chase your stats all you want. Go right ahead. See how well that works for you. If you gotta know how to win the game. And Patrick Mahomes knows how to win the game. And that's why Kansas City is going to win with 13 wins in that division, and they are my number one seed out of the AFC. Denver comes in with 11. Bo Nix had a nice year. I think Sean, oh gosh, why am I drawing a blank
Peyton.
on his name? Sean Payton and that team, they gel well together. I'm expecting to see another double-digit season from them. Uh, the Chargers and Justin Herbert. I've said it before, guys. What has Justin Herbert done that everybody makes excuses for him? The guy is not good,
He's
but
got
the
a high
Chargers
margin.
are good. He does. That's about the only thing he's got going for him. And the Chargers are going to sit there at 9 wins. They're not even going to see the playoffs. And good luck to Fernando or Mendoza out there in Vegas, because man, it he might have more tattoos than they have wins this year at the end of the season.
Go ahead, Martin.
Wow.
You know, I gotta start it off. I really love Justin Herbert this year. I think he's gonna take the Chargers to the promised land here.
I'm
So I
just
have the
gonna have a couple
Chargers.
here.
I have the
McDaniel as the
Chargers
OC.
at 13 wins and the number one seed in the AFC. So I
Wow.
actually really like them. And then I have Denver, and then after that, I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs got old. I think they're not going to be who they were. And I agree. The Raiders. It's going to be very interesting with the Raiders. They're another team in a tough division.
Yep.
If they get the number one pick, are you telling me they're keeping Fernando, who might be mediocre, and I think he will be,
Yep.
over Arch Manning?
Yep.
I mean I think this year is the most fascinating in a very long time in the draft. I think you are going to see a lot of teams who are 500, could be 500, that really drop and try to see what they can do through the season. Try and get rid of guys to get number one picks and get first round draft picks in a hopes to send to a package team, 3 number ones or something like that for Arch or for whoever, any of these other quarterbacks coming out. So I
You
like the Chargers. I believe in Harbaugh. I think
can
Harbaugh
I
has it this year.
can I ask you something, Martin? Because you've said this a couple times tonight. With the way the NCAA is working with NIL and now this new ruling that players can go into
Can
the
come back.
NFL and can
Yep,
come back and
come
play
back.
additional years, more power is to the players themselves this year than ever. What is keeping any of these quarterbacks that, even if they are what you think they're going to be, not going back into the fold and going, I'll take another year of college. I'll make
Well,
more money playing college.
yeah, and Arch can do that, but like Mensa, he can't. He's out of eligibility.
Hmm.
Dante, or is it Dante Moore? I think from Oregon. I think the same way. He's out of
Yeah.
eligibility. There's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of these guys. Sam Levitt from LSU, he's going to be out of eligibility. So there's a lot that are in this 5 year thing. Arch is he's the wild card. He's the one that's
Hmm.
not. CJ Carr. CJ Carr is going to be really good for Notre Dame. And he could say Julian Sayin for Ohio State is going to be really good, but yes, they could stay. And more power to them if they do. I hope they do. I hope all these guys stay in college and don't jump to the NFL.
Can they
And
be
I wish
draft?
Ruben Bain.
they
I wish Ruben
and
Bain didn't go to the NFL. That guy would
and
have been a monster another year.
and these players have such control right now over their own stock that this is why I don't think you see teams tanking as much as you think you're going to see it, and we haven't really seen it. We've seen bad organizations be bad organizations,
Yeah,
but
and the
I don't
Raiders
think
are.
you're
Raiders
you're
are.
not you're not going to see teams tank for there's no more suck for luck like it
I don't
was
know.
way back in the day.
I will say this: if Dart gets hurt first, second, third game of the season, gets concussions again, and
Hmm.
he's deemed damaged goods, the Giants they're going to be miserable. They might not win 2 games if Dart goes out. And if they have a chance at the number one pick and have a chance to have Arch Manning come or Mensa or one of these other guys, I think they take it because Dart at this point is so beat up. That's my biggest worry. I mean, Dart to me is kind of the same path that Tua. He had some flashes, but then he gets these injuries, and once you get in the head, it's really
Tua
it's a
never even
problem.
had any flashes.
There were flashes.
Maybe, yeah,
There
no.
were flashes. Remember that efficiency rate he had? Between 0 to 2 yards, he
Zero to
was
two
like
yards.
90,
Yeah, it's great.
98% accurate. It was like
I
his
I will say
QBR was off the charts.
I will say one thing to his defense. He's done something that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow couldn't do to Jalen Hurts. Knock him out of a game and win a national title for him.
True.
Well, I'm going next
Hey,
because first
before
I want
before
to
you go,
say,
Ryder, I like their little conversation they had there about going back to college, and I just want to get clarification on that rule. Can
but I'm
they?
going to jump in right there and just tell you, nil is killing college sports. I've been telling you guys this forever, and Martin still thinks it's the best thing that's ever
Greatest thing
happened.
ever.
And you're a
Greatest
moron.
thing
You are a
ever.
moron. It is killing college sports. Go ahead,
Uh,
Garmin.
I was waiting for the annual Ryder telling Martin that he's a moron. Uh, um, with the clarification of that rule that I want is I didn't really read into it and I don't know how it works. Can they be drafted and then announce they don't want to go to the NFL?
No, they can
Okay.
actually be on the roster.
On the team,
They
yeah.
they can be on the team because I think there's a player. I
The
don't
Bra-
remember the name or the team, but he's projected to be cut at the final cut down. But he already has an agreement in place to return to LSU and be their starting running
yeah.
back.
So then
Well,
they
tight
literally
end.
could
He's the
they
tight end
literally
from
could
Ole Miss. Yeah,
they
he was a
literally
tight end.
could
He
do that
played in
after they get drafted. They don't even have to wait to go to camp. Is that correct?
what? But these guys are in camp. That's the thing. This guy
No. But
played in the
what
second
I'm saying
preseason game.
is you had the years where like Elway didn't want to go to Baltimore,
Right. Right.
or Eli didn't want to go to
San Diego.
San
San
Diego.
Diego. Yeah.
So let's say the Jets have the #1 pick and they want Arch Manning. Screw you! I'm going back to college.
Yeah.
Like,
But he has eligibility still.
well, sure, I
That's the
know,
thing.
but what
Why I'm
is
saying these
like,
other guys don't have eligibility. They're hitting their 5 years, and they're going to have to come out. Could they sit out? Yeah, you could. I mean, like you said, the players have more power than they've ever had.
but that's my point. Like, so you're the Jets. Let's say Arch has a phenomenal year. He's obviously the top prospect. You have that fear that he might want to go back to school. Do you draft him?
Well, then you
Because
go for
if you
Mensa. If
draft
he
him and he says he's going back to school, you've now lost the #1 pick in the NFL draft.
Yep.
Yeah, and one thing that's
Yeah,
changed is remember you once you signed an agent, then you were out of college, you were
Correct.
committed to the pros.
yeah, and that's
Now
not the
you can
case anymore.
actually sign a contract, be on the training squad, be in the camp, go all the way up there, all the way up to the first game of the season, but not play. And you could bow out and go, nope, I'm going back to college. And oh, by the way, I'll make more in NIL when I go
That's
back to
crazy.
college.
That's
Keep in
crazy.
keep in mind the guy that's the tight end that's going to LSU. Lane Kiffin took him from the Browns, so he's coming back to LSU. The SEC can decide whether or not they allow him to play. So the
Sure.
conferences still have a chance or a say in this. And the season starts next week. You gotta now come into that locker room with 110 other players and say, okay, sorry, you were the starting tight end, but because this guy's better than you, I'm bringing him in 3 days before the season starts, and you're now second string. That's, I mean, morale for your team. I mean, this is a slippery slope for these NCAA coaches. So it's one of these things where, yeah, this side of it, I don't like. I don't like one bit. It's not the money thing. It's just a situation where this guy, he's one of like 16 players got this injunction from a judge in Louisiana. It's always these blue states that do this. It's never a red state yet that has done
Here
this.
we go.
So
Now we're jumping
so
down a
now we're
whole
going
other.
political. Now we're going to go political here.
Oh
So
man, I must have had too much. It's Louisiana blue state now. Oh. And listen, it's only been an injunction from the court. There hasn't been
yeah,
an official ruling and whatnot. But as
exactly.
it stands right now, he can. Now,
Yes.
who's going to be the first person that actually does it and then gets kind of blackballed because he might ruin his future pro
Well, if you're
prospects.
an NFL team, why would you take him next year? Why would you do that? You'd spurn him like that. So I don't think it's like the guy that came from Cincinnati, went to Texas Tech, then claimed he had a gambling problem and everything like that, and
Yeah.
sued to try
Yep.
to get into the
Mhm.
NFL supplemental draft, and the NFL said
Yep.
no. Now the dude's like damaged goods. Like why would you
Hmm.
ever? He bet $5 million on himself, had to pay that money back, and now all of a sudden he only has whatever Cincinnati gave him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
That guy
again,
blew it.
yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
that guy blew
all
it.
you're doing,
So
Martin, is making these arguments on why nil is not good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
really,
you
that's what you're
just
doing.
Yeah,
You know,
you just said it wasn't about the money side of this. It's completely about the money.
it
The
is.
kid is going to leave so he can come back to college to make more money. It's
Yeah,
completely about the money side.
yeah,
yeah. So
but
to
yeah,
me,
I
I
agree. But
think
the money's
nil.
still a good thing for
No,
Yeah,
the
it's
for the
not.
kids
It's
to get
awful.
paid. To get
no.
paid.
No,
See,
it's
to me,
destroying
nil is
college
the
sports.
same.
Here that never got a cent or a penny, and gave my blood, sweat, and tears, and ran on a stress fracture. So I'm hoping there's an attorney listening that wants to take up my case
and
that I can
and
sue the
and
NCAA
and
for back pay.
NIL is bad. I will agree on that realm. But the players needed to get paid, and they were taken advantage of for a
Yeah,
way long time. There's no
yeah,
way that some of these schools and some of those big wigs in these conferences were making millions and millions
yes.
and millions off of them. And as a former NCAA athlete, if I got we had an away track meet, I got $10 as a meal stipend. If I would have gotten 11, if I
Where'd you get
i-
money? I didn't get nothing.
if I
Oh,
would have gotten
we better call
11,
somebody up. This sounds like illegal activity was going on.
if I would have
Yeah,
gotten 11, I would have been sanctioned and banned and possibly kicked off.
I
I
bet you
would
that
have.
AC state title team in
Yep.
1997 or 99 or whatever it was. I bet they
Yep.
were paying players under
Yep.
the I bet
my
Lineball
gosh.
got money. I bet he got some money under the table there.
Dude, I got a Jeep Grand Cherokee driven to my front door with a bag of cash on the front seat, and
Oh
the guy
man,
got
this
out.
is breaking. This is breaking
He
news here.
he just threw the keys on the driver's seat, and he walked away. And he goes, "I have no idea whose car this is," and walked down the street.
But you know what, though? We're all making the argument on these guys are making a lot of money in college sports, and now the drive isn't there. The drive isn't to go to that next level and play pro ball. In fact, for a lot of people, their best interest is to stay in college as long as they can
It
because
is.
that's where they're going to
Yeah,
make the money. And to
it's
me,
going to make
I just
college basketball better.
yeah,
No,
well,
it's not. It's not
It
at
will
all.
make college basketball better.
No, it's not going to make any
You know
sports
what?
better.
I think we need to table this conversation for a little bit because we got way off track, and that's
All right.
mostly my
All
fault
right.
because I brought this up and I didn't really understand how it worked. But I
Yeah.
think we need to come back to this because this is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Well,
Oh,
let
no
me
doubt.
continue. Let me continue with the AFC West because
Go
I'm
for
going
it.
to say something that I don't even want to say. I hate when I agree with Martin on something.
Hey
Not a
man,
good thing. So that means the
fist
Chargers are
bump.
probably
Fist
the
bump.
Chargers are probably screwed now this year. But unfortunately, I have the Chargers winning that division also. At 11-5, I don't have them as the 1 seed, but I have them as the 2 seed going into the AFC playoffs.
You're missing a game there, either 11-6 or 12.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 12-5, 12-5.
Yeah.
So I don't like that I'm agreeing with Martin. So to all Chargers fans out there listening right now, I apologize because your season is now officially over.
It's all Martin's fault.
Yes. So if I'd have been on them by myself, it would have been all right. But with Martin on them, they're done. I have the Oh, by the way, the Chargers win total is 10.5. That is the same as the Chiefs in that division as well. I have the Broncos finishing second at 10-7, win total 9.5. I have the Chiefs finishing 10-7, 10.5. As I said, Raiders, yeah, good luck out there. Kirk Cousins, Mendo, it don't matter what's going on out there. It's not going to be good. But I have the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs all making the playoffs from that division.
You don't like that?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't like agreeing with Martin. That's what I don't like agreeing with.
I'm saying that because of Cousins. You like that?
yeah.
You don't like that?
I definitely agree with you, Ryder, in regards to Kansas City. I think they are the third best team in that division, and I do see both Denver and the Chargers finishing at 11-6, but with Denver holding the tiebreaker and winning that division. I do think Denver is an up and coming team. Denver, along with like a team like Seattle, they got one big thing on their side, and that's home field advantage.
Yeah.
Playing in
Yep.
Denver or playing in Seattle, that's a huge advantage, no matter what their record is. And with Denver having a half decent team, they're just going to be that much better. And I'm still on the fence with Kansas City even making the playoffs. I have them technically right now at their number 7 seed, but I really don't think Kansas City is going to hold up for an entire season. And then obviously the Raiders, they're going to finish last at 4-13 in my opinion.
I feel like we're all kind of in the same ballpark in this division. I'm closer to Mike than the other three of you.
Smart man.
I have Kansas City at 12-5, but they're also tied with the Broncos at 12-5, and the Chargers just finish out of the playoffs as the 8 seed at 11-6. Crazy tiebreaker, 11-6 to the Ravens. That's who they lose out there to. And actually a 3-way tie. The Patriots 11-6, Ravens 11-6, and Chargers 11-6. And unfortunately, the Chargers are the ones that miss out on that. I have the Raiders with only 3 wins. But yeah, Kansas City's going to get the tiebreaker over the Chiefs, or over the Broncos. I'm sorry, and they'll be the 3 seed going into the playoffs. That's the way I see it. We got one more division to go, and then we can get into the playoffs and any awards you guys want to mention. So let's head over to the NFC North, and I'll start it off this time. Let me pull my NFC North up here. This is actually the division I get the number 1 seed out of for the NFC.
Interesting.
And
Wow.
That team is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, the way that the schedule rolled out here, I have them going 12-5, tying the Lions at 12-5. But a big discrepancy in their seeding as the Packers will be the 1 seed, the Lions will be the 7 seed at 12-5 because of my crazy NFC West where I had 3 teams there going 12-5. The Bears, another 11-6 team that just misses out in the playoffs as the 8 seed. And then, yeah, Ryder, say what you want.
Oh, I will then.
Don't worry, it's not going to be McCarthy's fault. It's going to be Kyler Murray's fault that they go 5-12 and are in the basement of that division.
I love the memes, by the way, with Kyler Murray being like a really short person jumping or running onto the field.
Let's say Ryder for last because I know he's going to win a roast 9. So whoever wants to go next.
I'll go next. I agree with you, Troy, in regards to the top 2 teams and finishing with the same record. I have Green Bay and Detroit finishing at 11-6. Green Bay is not going to be the number 1 seed, in my opinion, but they will win the division at 11-6. Detroit, by means of a tiebreaker, they'll make the playoffs, but they will not. They will not be a high seed, obviously. And then Chicago Bears, 10-7 at best, with Minnesota 7-10.
Mike Martin.
I'll go.
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead, Mike.
I'll start at the bottom of the division. Minnesota. One thing I can say nice about them. They recognize that JJ is not the answer, and they're cutting bait. Good on them. They're not going to commit to him. I got them at 8 wins. I still think even though they're the bottom of the division, they're still going to have a decent year. Like nobody's going to be like horrendously bad.
Right.
Chicago, I have as 10 wins. And I have Detroit and Green Bay tied with 11 wins each. And Green Bay wins the tiebreaker and wins that division.
Wow. All 3 of us so
Wow.
far.
All right. I don't really disagree that much there. I had the Vikings last as well, but the same deal. I see them winning 7 games. Maybe they get up to eight games too. I think everyone's gonna be jumbled in this division. It's gonna be really a 1 game between almost all of them. I like the Bears though to win. I like the Bears for the division. And then to me, it's a toss up between Detroit and Green Bay. I'm actually going to go Detroit. But I think if Detroit doesn't win it this year, I almost feel like they are kind of the Bills situation too. Do you just blow it up? If you don't win it this year, do you blow it? Because I don't know. Like the Lions, all of a sudden, I don't know if they have what it takes anymore. For a while they were young, and I can't say they're old, but it just seems like there's something missing there. And is it Goff? I mean, is he the problem? But I think it's going to be Chicago again. I think they finally have gotten over this Green Bay thing, and I think Chicago is going to rule that division for a few years.
The Indiana Bears.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I have my number 1 seed coming out of this division also. That's the Detroit Lions. It's not a golf problem. Detroit coming in at 12-5, winning that division. Their Vegas total's 10.5. Packers coming in second, 10-7, also 10.5. Bears also coming in at 10-7. Their win total's 9.5. But the Bears are on the outside looking in. They're not making the playoffs. 2 teams out of this division, the Lions and the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the Vikings, and I feel bad for my father, who everybody knows is a diehard Minnesota Vikings fan. The problem with that is my dad is also a diehard Pittsburgh Pirate fan. So it's been a little rough for him here.
For sure.
When you take the fact that they had Darno and Jones both on that roster and got rid of them for somebody that is a complete hack, had no business being on an NFL field, had no business being an NFL quarterback, and they turned that team over to him, a team that was in the playoffs the year before, would have made the playoffs last year and could have seriously made a run. I'm not saying Super Bowl, but could have won a game in the playoffs, maybe even 2, depending on their defense, and they went to McCarthy, who, if we have to look back on it, Martin had the worst NFL quarterback take in the history of NFL quarterback takes, saying Tua was a surefire Hall of Famer. I will say at least Martin's quarterback got some years to prove how bad he was. Troy's quarterback, who he said was going to be the savior of the Minnesota Vikings,
Even
didn't
though
even get
even though quarterbacks don't win games for the teams.
Exactly. It's not his fault.
53-man roster, man. It's a 53 game
just
team
imagine how you would
member
feel. Like,
roster.
I give the Minnesota Vikings players the utmost credit for not speaking out about them actually making that decision to turn a talented roster over to somebody that was that bad. Like, I really do. Like, for those guys to keep their mouths shut was amazing. So now what do? They get rid of Darno, they get rid of Jones, they bring in a hack that shouldn't even be playing, and now they turn it over to a midget. Are you serious? Like, what the hell is going on up there? Yeah, they're going to be better. Maybe they're going to get 8 wins, but I feel so bad for them because they still have a very good roster and they just don't have a quarterback. So, Martin, you're talking about a quarterback and need somewhere. If any team needs to tank to get a quarterback, it is the Minnesota Vikings. 100%.
Yeah.
And for my dad's sake, I hope he endures the most miserable year in the history of football and they win 1 game and they get the first pick. I don't know what you're flashing signs there for, Garner. What does that even mean?
Just
9.
gang signs.
9. No. Not only were you so wrong on that, he was the quarterback of your college team. Let me ask you a question. What was their run pass percentage when he played?
At Michigan?
Yeah.
Probably 60 run, 40 pass.
How about 70-30?
Okay.
So now
So he had
this
this
guy had
to be
good.
great, and he still was.
He had good stats for throwing the ball 30% of the time against 75% cupcake teams, is what they had on their schedule.
But all
Oh,
he
the
did
Vik-
was win. All he did is win.
Right,
Someone
Mike?
says that. All you have to do is win.
So
All he did
I'm
was win, right,
sorry.
Mike?
I am sorry.
He hasn't been winning though.
Martin, you are off the hook. Troy Martin is off the hook. Troy Garmin now has the worst quarterback take in the history of NFL quarterback takes.
And how is Howie with the MVP, Jameis Winston? How is Howie not in this conversation with us?
At least that guy had 30 touchdowns. I don't care if he had 30 interceptions. That's closer. Jameis Winston was closer
What
to
about
being.
Pickett?
Yeah, what about Pickett?
Let me finish.
He's got a Super Bowl ring.
Jameis Winston was closer to being an MVP than Tua was to being a Hall of Famer or McCarthy was to being an NFL quarterback. Howie, you're in the clear, buddy.
Wait.
Thank you.
You
Thank
wait
you.
till that guy's the next Tom Brady. You wait.
Oh
Yeah.
my. Oh my.
Oh. Wow, he just
What
doubled down on
what
his
league are
horrible
you
take.
talking?
Yep.
We talking in like arena football or whatever? What are we talking?
He's
In
got
fact, he's
eligibility
probably going
left.
to go to
He's
the
going back
line.
to
He'll
Michigan.
probably go to lingerie league is where he's going next.
He's got
True, he might have some
left. He's going
eligibility back
to
in Michigan. Yeah.
You know, in Madden, I think McCarthy won a couple Super Bowls.
Hey, I know
All right,
Pickett
let's
did
move-
in Madden as a
Let's move
starter.
on to the playoffs. We'll try to
That's-
keep this short and sweet. Playoffs here. We kind of all went through our seedings and all that kind of stuff, so we can just kind of reiterate that right now. I got the Bills as the 1 seed, the Bengals as the 2 seed, the Chiefs as the 3, the Texans as the 4, the Broncos as the 6, the Broncos as the 5, Pats as the 6, Ravens as the 7. So first round matchups look like. Let me pull that up. I'm sorry, I wasn't quite prepared. First round's matchups look like Broncos over Texans, Chiefs over Patriots, and the Bengals over the Ravens in the wild card for the AFC. In the NFC, I got the Packers as the 1, the Rams as the 2, the Eagles as the 3, the Bucks as the 4, Niners 5, Seahawks 6, Lions 7. First round, I got the Niners over the Bucks, the Eagles over the Seahawks, and the Rams over the Lions. I will stop there for now, and then we'll move on to the divisional after you guys mention your wild cards. Whoever wants to go.
I do not have any wild cards. I only have conference titles. I
Oh,
didn't go.
okay.
I
Well,
didn't go.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
go
it's
with
kind of the same with
a
me. Yeah.
breakdown of everything.
okay, no
Um,
problem. Let me
okay.
just jump ahead and then we'll go right to
Yep.
that then. How's that?
Yeah.
All right. So in my conference championship, you're not going to believe this, fellas. I got the Bills there.
Gets the
But
Steelers.
no, not the Steelers. But once again, to Mike's pleasure, they do not win to Joe Burrow's Bengals
Oh,
going to the Super Bowl.
Oh
ooh.
man.
In the NFC, I got two NFC West teams battling it out,
Yeah.
and then one of them is not the Seahawks. It is the
Wow.
Rams and 49ers. And we
Wow.
get a rematch of a Super Bowl from a few years ago with the Rams and Bengals in the Super Bowl this year.
Ew.
Garmin, I want you to do me a favor.
Yes.
Check and see if you have a carbon monoxide detector in your house because it might be missing a battery.
Which
Oh.
one of those threw you off? That I picked them to lose?
Oh my gosh! Like,
Which one?
yeah. Do I
Or
got to name one?
He's
did
doing
my
everything.
AFC
He
throw
is
you
doing
off there? Did my
everything he
Niners throw you
can
off? What
to
threw
go.
you off
Yeah,
there?
you're
Oh
just
my
doing it
gosh.
the opposite because we all know you want them to win. You've been picking them to win, they haven't. So let me not pick them to win. Maybe they
That's
will.
not entirely true because I think the last 2 years I did, but the year prior to that I did not pick that. I had them losing. I believe it was to the Bengals again that year. So,
So if Buffalo
of course I
loses,
want them to win. Of course I do.
is it is if
But
Buffalo loses, is it because Josh Allen threw 3 picks or what?
I don't really know yet. I think their defense is a totally brand new defense. I think it could really come down to their defense not making a play in the end again. I really think that's probably what would happen. I'll just finish it off here if we're going into conference championship. I have the Rams over the Bengals. I have the Rams as Super Bowl champion.
Okay.
Well, I can go because I don't have anything other really than the conference
Sure.
champions, but I have the Chargers as the conference champion in the AFC, and no, strike that, strike that. I didn't have it written down before. I had the Chargers against the Texans, and the Texans going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
So I had the Texans going to the Super Bowl. NFC side, I have Seahawks and Rams, and the Rams going to the Super Bowl. And I have the Texans winning the Super Bowl this year.
Wow.
Martin.
I believe in CJ Stroud. This is going to be a bounce back year.
Do you have a carbon monoxide detector?
I want you to check your carbon monoxide detector as well.
Do I see people laying on the floor in the background?
Martin,
Because
I just gave you a reprieve on the quarterback thing, and now you come up with this.
Just when I
CJ
think you could
CJ
say
Stroud.
anything dumber.
CJ Stroud's going to be the MVP this year.
Martin just pulled a Dumb and Dumber moment.
All right, I have the AFC. Bills as the 1, Chargers as the 2, Ravens as the 3, Texans as the 4, Bengals as the 5, Broncos as the 6, Chiefs as the 7. NFC, I have the Lions as the 1, Rams as the 2, Eagles as the 3, Bucks as the 4, Cowboys as the 5, Packers as the 6, and 49ers as the 7. Conference championship games. I have the Bills over the Ravens. I have your Bills going to the Super Bowl, Garmin.
Jesus.
In the
Haven't
NFC,
done it in the last 3 years?
Yeah, I had him last year, and that didn't work out well.
NFC, I have the Rams over the Lions. I hate to tell you, Martin, the Giants aren't going to be anywhere near any of that. Garmin, the Bills are not winning the Super Bowl. They're losing to the Rams.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with you. That's a
Yeah, Rams are good.
They lose by a field goal.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't have much faith in Tyler Bass.
All right. Well, I have Buffalo as the number 1 seed, but I have Denver as the number 2 seed. Houston 3, Pittsburgh 4, Chargers 5. Um, Shoot, for the life of me, I know it's not Cincinnati. Oh, Baltimore 6 and Kansas City 7. And I have Kansas City losing in that first round against Denver, which I think would be a really good playoff game to watch.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And
would.
but uh but as far as the conference finals for the AFC, yeah, you know what? I have Buffalo and Denver 1-2. And I have Denver actually winning
Hmm.
and going to the Super Bowl. Now in the NFC, a little bit different. LA is going to be number 1, Philly number 2, Green Bay 3, Tampa Bay 4, Seattle 5, Detroit 6, and Dallas does the number 7 seed. And I also have the Rams playing the Eagles in the NFC Championship, with the Rams coming out victorious with that defense.
Which then leads us to the Rams and the Broncos, and your winner is?
My winner is, I'm going to have to say Rams. I mean, they are just too stacked to not
They
say.
really are. They really
It's
are.
like saying the Dodgers aren't going to win the World Series.
Yep.
I mean,
All right, Mike.
You know, it started with the Troys, and it it elicited a thought in my head where what you two have just said was possibly the most idiotic thing that I've ever heard. Everybody on this channel is now dumber for having listened to what you guys just said.
Okay. Thank you, Billy
I
Madison.
award I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your souls.
Don't get
Wow,
us copyrighted here, Mike.
that's why I didn't say it correctly. Um, I have Kansas City as your number one overall AFC seed. Um, I have the LA Rams as your number one overall NFC seed. Um, Only one of those makes it to the conference championship. Um, I have Buffalo taking on Baltimore in the AFC title. I think this is going to be a good matchup. Two teams that are good, established, with new voices and new coaches to lead them and get max out of them. On the NFC side, I see the Rams having no problem making it through the playoffs. They're going to face the number 2 seed in the NFC Championship, and that would be the Philadelphia Eagles. This one is going to take place, though, in LA. Let's start on the AFC side. I think Lamar Jackson starts to show that he is actually a good quarterback in the playoffs. But this is Buffalo's year. Buffalo makes it to a Super Bowl.
Ah.
So, representing the AFC, the Buffalo Bills. They're upset because that AFC Championship game is actually in Baltimore because Baltimore holds the higher seed. Now, out to LA. Sean McVay cannot beat the Eagles. They have to stack that team, and they are going to fight hard. And they fight hard every single time. But it comes down to the last play and the last second of the game, and the Eagles always take it out of the ballpark. And that happens again. The Eagles beat the Rams in the NFC Championship, and we have a Buffalo versus Philly Super Bowl. Folks, Garmin,
So.
don't fall out of your seat. Josh finally does it.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Wow.
cliffhanger right there. Wow.
who was he traded
Josh
to?
finally does it.
Does what? Loses?
He throws 7 picks in that Super Bowl.
And wins
But he's a
MVP.
winner. But he's
He
a winner.
wins. He wins the first ever LVP. No, I, no, I'm taking Buffalo this year. I think Buffalo is going to have the that Tom Brady esque late 2000s, early 2010s schedule where the division is such a cakewalk that they can just skate on into the playoffs and they don't have to really put much effort into it. And they can focus their team and their energy into those playoff matchups that they can go ahead and play the good teams and match up well and beat them. And Philadelphia is going to be so, I don't want to say decimated, but they're going to put a lot of effort to beat those Rams.
Mhm.
That Jalen's going to have a great game because Jalen has great games. That's what they do. Philadelphia's going to give them a fight, but Buffalo is going to be well rested. They're going to be well ready, and they finally make it to the promised land
So I
and
should
they
already
enjoy
take
a
off work
parade.
so I can go up there for the parade.
If I were a betting man, I would.
Wow. Do we have any superlatives? Anything funny we want to mention here, Ryder? You always have some
Well,
funny takes, or
I said, crazy. Call me crazy. I have Dak as the MVP. I also had Patrick Mahomes as comeback player of the year. I think that's going to be a
I think that's a
no-brainer.
given.
I think your coach of the year. I think that could be Dan Campbell. Um, I mean, I know he had a good year, kind of fell off, but I think the Lions being the number one seed, I think that gets in them. I do think the Browns will be the most comical team to figure out what they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing. That's going to make for good TV. I think you could see something crazy where they make a switch mid-game during the year, and that's it. Like
They
Deshaun
could
just he
could they
just
sell the
walks off
team
the
mid
field.
game?
Yeah, he pulls an Antonio Brown, takes his shirt off, walks out of the stadium, something along those
Straight to the
lines. That could
massage
be fun.
Do they
parlor.
sign Shiloh? Do they sign Shiloh to the 53 man roster right
Do they
there?
sign Dion?
Yeah. Does
Uh,
Dion become the next coach after this year? Because Colorado's ready to get rid of him. At
Dion
this
is a
point.
horrible coach to begin with. He belongs nowhere near coaching any football team other than maybe a Pee Wee team. That is it.
Which is
He's not
why
a good.
Cleveland might actually just hire him.
Yes,
That
I
is
think
valid.
Cleveland would hire him. I
That is
really think
valid.
they would.
So
Other than that, I have not even paid attention to the Dolphins that much because I know they're going to suck. But runner up for MVP will likely be the Dolphins punter.
He is definitely going to have the strongest leg by the end of the year.
Yes.
probably
Yeah.
the weakest, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll,
Um,
I'll say it one more time. I think this is going to be an exciting year for the teams that are vying for that top 5 picks. This is going to be something that we've never seen. This is going to be like NBA-esque tanking that's going to be taking place here. I think this is going to be like Chicago White Sox tanking, from 2 years ago or something
Yeah.
like that when they won like 9 games or something. I mean, this is like going to be horrid. But I will say this: Ruben Bain, rookie of the year. That dude already is killing quality offensive linemen already in just the preseason. That guy is going to be something special. He is going to be good and I think Tampa's going to be better than we all think, just because their defense has him, and they're going to be a lot better.
Spoken like a
So
true fan of the preseason because they have nothing to
I
look
love the
forward to during
preseason.
the
You
regular
learn so
season.
much, so much.
Have you ever been to a preseason championship parade? They are the best.
I haven't. It's coming.
They are the
It's
best.
coming.
I will say, I think
but the
people are
Ravens win
overlooking
them every year.
in a way people are not overlooking him, but in a way I think a lot of people are overlooking this guy, and that's Jordan Love. I can see him winning the MVP. Everybody's looking at Green
Ditto.
Bay winning the
Ditto.
division,
That's who mine
and
is, Howie.
what's that?
That's who I have as well.
Okay, yeah,
Really?
and that's kind of who
Wow.
I see as winning the MVP. Now that's the regular season, but when it comes to
Who do you have in the preseason, Howie? Who do you have in
Kenny
the
Pickett.
preseason?
well, I do think Kenny Pickett is showing some good numbers, but actually preseason I would pick Drew Aller right now, numbers
Yeah.
wise. But yeah, I mean honestly, regular season Jordan Love, for the MVP.
Mike, you got anything you want to add to the end here?
I'm gonna stick with tried and trues. I think Lamar Jackson takes your MVP. I think Sean McVay wins your Coach of the Year. Pat Mahomes is your Comeback Player of the Year. I don't think there's anything that's too outlandish here. Um, it's going to be the usual suspects. It's going to be. I don't see too many darling teams coming out here. That it's going to be kind of a rehash of last year, because we went 3 years ago, 4 years ago, where there was a lot of turnover between the playoff teams from the year prior to the year current. Last year, there really wasn't much of a turnover, and I think this year you're going to see that same realm. That it's going to it's the same group, because it's not there. There's parity, but there's also a clear, these certain teams, these five or six are much better than the others. And then that batch of mediocre is very strong. And
Yeah.
then down at the bottom are your 4 or 5 teams that are
Yep.
really, really bad. And
Yep.
when you're stuck in, in mediocrity land, you're stuck there. And these 5 or 6 teams, the Buffaloes, the Phillies, the Rams, well, I'll throw the Seahawks in there now because they've proven it. The Kansas Cities, the Baltimores, they're up there. You know, Baltimore's ready to take that next step up. So I'm ready there. I'm not a believer on Dan Campbell and the Lions. I'm not a believer on Jordan Love and the Packers. Not wholeheartedly yet. They got to show me something before I will buy in and watch that show.
A number of you guys mentioned the Ravens.
Mhm.
You not believing that Harbaugh was a good coach for the Ravens? I feel like they're going to take a step back
Well,
without him.
honestly, yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm surprised that you guys have him in the championship games
Because
in the
again,
AFC.
I think Lamar Jackson is probably a bigger head case than people are thinking he is.
Yeah, he can't stay healthy. You think he's going to be healthy now at 30, whatever age he is
I think
now?
he's like 30, 31, yeah.
Yeah, I it'll be interesting. I mean, it's not that they can't. I felt like Harbaugh was always a pretty good coach, so I feel like they'll actually go down. But you know,
I
Hey,
thought
I don't
Harbaugh
know.
Martin,
is a good coach, and I don't think that's his fault. But I also think that Harbaugh lost them a lot of games that they should have won.
I like the
hey,
2 point conversions.
Martin,
Week in, week
Martin,
out.
was Andy Reid a good coach in Philly?
Yeah, he was a great
Why,
coach for Philly.
why couldn't they win the Super Bowl while he was there?
They didn't give enough control to him.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
You got to have that recipe of the team, the quarterback, the coach, and the
yeah.
organization. You know, all those ingredients got to meld together to get you a championship. When Andy left Philly, we knew he was a great coach. We were glad to see him go because we were ready for a new voice to get in there. And we
Chip
knew we
Kelly.
might not win right away. But do you remember Chip Kelly's first year?
Yeah, they did
I
really good
remember. I
in the
remember the
snow
first
game.
year. I
The snow
remember.
game.
I remember the fun and gun that first week against
Yeah.
Washington. They put 50 some points up there, and we all thought, "Book your tickets to the Super Bowl. Here we go." Sometimes you just need that fresh new voice, and it
No,
might be good
I
for a
don't
season. It
disagree.
might be,
Yeah,
but that sometimes the message is so stale. Which look at Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin was that message was so stale. They needed somebody new in there. They needed Mike McCarthy's
Aaron
not the right
Rodgers.
guy,
They needed Aaron
but
Rodgers. They needed a new voice
yeah, but
in a dark room.
I wouldn't trust Aaron Rodgers' voice. I'd rather. Oh
No, and
Lord,
I hear what you're
but
saying.
yeah, yeah.
I am surprised that you guys are jumping on the Ravens so much. I'm glad Harbaugh's with the Giants. I think he'll do wonders for that team
I do
compared to
too.
what they've
I
been.
think he's a
I
great coach.
just
I
I
think the team is way too
yeah,
talented to just fall off the face of the earth just because of a coaching change.
And I think it's really interesting that
yeah,
this year you have 2 teams that were built and set and in that good realm that they swapped out coaches.
yeah.
So
Not
I'm
true.
excited. I
True.
am excited to see what that new voice will do because I think you have a better chance of seeing increased success in the first year rather than a regression that first year.
If the Ravens were in the AFC West,
Mm.
would you still be saying they'd be that good? Or is it just because they have an easy path because the North is just muddled?
You're saying, are you
Um,
saying swap them with like the Raiders?
Yeah. If they
it,
were,
if the Ravens had to play the Chiefs twice,
yep, in
okay,
Denver
And Denver
that
and
and
the Chargers.
the Chargers.
well, I'm not as high on the Chargers as you guys are. Again, check your carbon monoxide detectors. Something's not right there. Something's missing. Usually, you hear a chirp when the battery's
I
dead.
would say the Ravens are the fourth team in that division if you took the Raiders out and put the Ravens in the West
No, they're the second team.
over
That's
Denver
Yes,
that's a
and
tough
over
one.
the Chiefs
not
because
over
the Chargers are the top
not
team.
over the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs, and it'd be the Ravens.
That's a tough question. I don't know where
Yeah,
I'd stand on that.
yeah.
That'd be a
Like if I put the
crazy.
Ravens in the NFC North, I would still have the Ravens the fourth best team in there if I took the Vikings out.
See now here's what you're asking for here. You're saying who's the better team, but you're putting four good teams in there. But then you take one of those teams out of
Put them in
there,
the NFC East.
you throw them in another division, and they might get more wins because they're now they don't have to
Yeah,
face the Chiefs, the whatnot, and those numbers can conflate
yeah.
and change
I
your
think that
perspective of it. But I still
yeah,
think the Ravens fundamentally, you got Derrick Henry, you got Lamar Jackson, who's an multiple MVP winner. You got a team and a system that's set up that they can go. They just
it's a
can't
whole
get
new
over
system though.
that hill. You hear that the whole new system. Yeah, we act like these guys haven't been playing football for the last 15 years of their life. They know what they're doing. There's nothing that's like so revolutionary that these systems are coming in.
But do you
It's
think the
just
Ravens will be as run heavy because Harbaugh they were like what 75% run and 25% pass
as long as Derrick Henry's healthy, I'm
if he's
utilizing him.
healthy. If
If
he's
he's healthy,
healthy.
if
That's
he's
the
healthy,
and
I'm
Lamar the same way. You know,
yeah.
if he's healthy.
Again, it's utilize your players to their peak abilities and don't overuse it. The element of surprise is what's lost on it because everybody thinks, oh, I see Derrick Henry on my squad, so Derrick Henry must be the one running up the gut all the time. Like, you got to throw them off balance. That's where the mix and the play calling comes in. And I don't think they were having that in the previous years. You were then whether it was Lamar feeling like he needed to take the brunt of the load and run it himself, but you gotta have that varying game because if they don't know what you're doing, then you got the advantage. If they know what you're going to do and you're predictable, which is what Baltimore does when they get to the playoffs, they were predictable. It's hard to win that way.
So what happens when the Steelers win their division again?
But by the way, I will always remember that day. I will always remember that game, and I will always remember that kick because that kick guaranteed my dad $2,065 because he won the survivor pool that year because his opponent had Baltimore and ended up losing that game.
That's funny.
Oh, I appreciate another great year here, guys. I'm gonna just
Yeah.
kind of give you my superlatives here for a quick second. I agree with Howie. My MVP pick is Jordan Love. I think we're all kind of in agreement. Patrick Mahomes probably already has comeback player of the year wrapped up. Of course, we all thought Damar Hamlin was going to win that one year too, and then you got a quarterback that came in and played 3 games and won it. Um, my offensive player of the year is Jamar Chase. My defensive player of the year, of course, is going to be Myles Garrett again. And coach of the year this year, I have Zach Taylor winning it because I have the Bengals winning that division and having a nice year. Ryder, I don't know if you heard me there or not, but you were talking about the Browns being very entertaining to watch this year.
Yep.
Do they get sold mid-game this year?
That'd be awesome.
That would be so great.
That
Do
would
they
be
get demoted to the
Suck. Who
CFL?
wants them? I'll give
Do we take the Alouettes
Well,
over the Browns and
I'm not sure.
bring a Canadian team in
We're going to do
finally?
that like they do in soccer, right?
Yeah, they're gonna get relegated.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how close that trailer park was in Ohio to Cleveland, but maybe the San Francisco owner buys the Cleveland Browns mid-season.
Well, we know where Deshaun's gonna be then.
Yeah,
Oh, my-
exactly.
did I hear right? Guaranteed money. He's still owed what 187 million or something like that.
And,
And if
and you,
Probably.
they cut him, they'd owe something like 81 million just next year alone.
Probably.
It's something ridiculous. I
his,
mean,
his
Bobby
it's
con-
just,
Bonilla of the NFL.
well, you got to remember
oh my,
his contract was fully guaranteed,
yeah,
and you know what? I don't have to wish any harm on the Cleveland Browns because they do it to themselves. But he was coming off of that suspension, and he knew,
yeah,
like, the team knew he was going to be suspended. He had to sit out for a year. So they worked the contract that his first year
yeah.
was only a $1 million payout. So he, in essence, only got a $1 million loss in revenue. Everything else on that contract was backloaded and guaranteed. So I have no sympathy whatsoever for that organization. And
No, they screwed it up.
I don't know how anybody can be a fan of that dog pound over there. But
Yeah.
I like what Martin said about the upcoming draft coming up too, and I just kind of wanted to, go over what my draft order would look like, with my predictions. I have the Dolphins with the number 1 pick,
Yep,
and
yep.
Browns 2, Raiders 3, Jets 4, Titans 5, Cardinals 6.
So here's an interesting
Ryder.
question for Ryder. Yeah, I mean, if the Dolphins get the number 1 pick and they pick the best quarterback in college football, which again, like Martin said, is going to be a high quarterback draft class, does that automatically put the Dolphins up a notch in regards to win loss?
You mean for the following year?
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can they start building with whoever they get next year?
That's the hopes. Like they should have
Yeah.
been rebuilding 7 years ago, and they just didn't. They wanted to be mediocre like the Steelers did. I'd never understand why anybody wanted to go that model. It's ridiculous.
The standard is the standard.
The standard is the standard. Again, I hope the Dolphins do get the first pick because it's sad to say they really have not had a quarterback since Marino was there, and you knew they were doomed when they had their choice between taking Drew Brees and Dante Culpepper, and they took Dante Culpepper. If they would have went the other way and brought Brees in, we could have been talking about the Dolphins being, viable for many years, maybe even winning a Super Bowl. Quit shaking your head because he would have done a hell of a lot better. He would have done a hell of a lot better than Dante Culpepper would have.
I'm not arguing that point, but
Yeah.
there's no guarantee that that quarterback could outperform the organization.
Valid. I'm just
But
saying it
Yeah.
would have been a better turn than taking Dante Culpepper.
it could have been better. Ryder, let me ask you this. I'm not sure. Has Miami ever had the number 1 overall pick?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't think they have.
Yeah. I can't say either that they
Dude,
ever
I
Again,
have.
looked
I
I can
brought
remember.
this up numerous times, but before, years ago, the Dolphins had the number 1 winning percentage in all of professional sports history. And that is nowhere near the case now. They had a standard down there, which was very high, and everything just went to
Oh.
shit. Marino
Oh, they only
left bad.
Yes,
they only
did. When
started
they took
keeping
Jake
track
Long.
of that in 72.
What's that?
I said they only started keeping track of that in 72, and I think they stopped in 73.
And that's the only thing I have on my side ever is to say we're the only team that won undefeated. That's it, and I can still do.
2008, they took Jake Long out of.
Yeah.
Oh,
Out of
Michigan.
There you go.
That's how
Wow.
not memorable that was.
Yep.
That was the number 1
that
overall
is true.
pick.
Wasn't that when they took Chad Henne in the 2nd round as well?
Wow.
Yeah, another
might
Michigan
have.
guy. Boy, that turns out great for everybody, doesn't it?
Hey,
Wow.
he's got a ring.
Yeah,
He's-
Bernie Kosar has a ring too. All right.
Didn't we already establish Kenny Pickett has a ring?
Not only does he have a
Chad
ring,
Henne. Chad Henne from right up the
he's
road here, though. Come on.
That's
Yeah.
true.
not only does he have a ring, he's Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
Mm.
Yeah. Chad Henne's the best quarterback to ever come out of Wilson High School. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. The other Wilson
Shots
quarterback at least
fired.
led his team to the Super Bowl. Led it.
And lost it. Lost
what-
it miserably.
So,
And
are
at
we
what-
in agreement? We're in agreement about halfway through the football season, though. We should reconvene and talk about how Nil sucks.
I'm down with that.
Down
I
with
think
that
that's a
anyway.
Oh, man.
conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Put it on-
I'd love
put it
to
on the
discuss
books.
that.
Put it on
Oh
the
yeah,
books.
I would definitely discuss that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as always, thank you guys for
Yeah.
doing the show. It's always a very fun time. Always look forward to it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a blast talking with you guys every year.
Yeah,
I
it is
really
fun.
Howie,
appreciate
Yes,
you
yeah.
having me on.
I hope you don't have to cut too much out because we went too long. So I know you have a hard job there.
No, it won't be bad.
But
I
thank you
always
guys
try to
again.
keep as much as possible in it anyway. So
Yeah.
And we will all figure out when we were going to Jerry Ryder from Grantville's house to watch a game.
I like it.
Man.
I like it.
Yes, thank you guys again.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Always
you.
love
Yeah,
talking.
absolutely.
Hey,
We got
everybody,
we
good
got to
luck
do
to the
this
Canes
college
this
one,
year.
man, because we got the U this year. This year they're taking it finally all the way, all the way. So
Oh my. All
Is
right.
isn't it amazing that since everybody else in